You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
I refuse to sit down and call me face. Too much of damn nonsense taking place. Drug men do more business than we just see. Under the guy that respectability. No, you can't tell the children trying to say. When they see drug millionaires every day. Drug controlling big stores, hotels and malls. And I feel like the police there are not back in the country. Could you tell me where have all the postmen gone? Where don't they know what's going on? This country we love, heading on our way, with Father, send us some guidance and leadership. Help, Father, lend a hand, help, or send them a man, help, tell we who to trust, help. Father, please, you want help, 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 help. When we respect and worship like sheep in the country, you never suspect the deep in the tears in the country. These drug business people living like stars in the country. Big mansion tables and snazzy cars in the country. No, this business is run by no poorer man in the country. They are all well placed in high positions in the country. Still, police say the nameless, they have no say in the country. They could only make marijuana case in the country. Could you tell me where have all the policemen gone? Where don't they know what's going on? This country we love, heading on our way with Father. Send us some guidance and leadership. Help, Father, lend a hand, help, or send them a man, help, tell we who to trust, help, Father, please, you must help, 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 help. We are more drug business than barbecue in the country. Keepers of the law are telling them boom in the country. They're doing their do, moving in and out in the country. Drug money like glue, stealing people out in the country. If you go drug business, we coming first in the country. Drug is now the industry and commerce in the country. Hey, look for money dressed up in suit and tie in the country. Only watching and making police sweet eye in the country. Could you tell me where have all the good men gone? Where don't they know what's going on? This country we love, heading on our way to Father. Send them some guidance and leadership. Help, Father, lend a hand, help, or send them a man, help, tell we who to trust, help, Father, please, you want help, 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 help. This thing affecting both rich and poor in the country. It's making a damn mockery of the law in the country. We bring Scotland Yard, we bring FBI in the country. We police them hard, they get our guys in the country. Yesterday poor, this morning you're rich in the country. No, I don't know who honest from which is which in the country. Hey, look, somebody jump up and make it mad in the country. And government sit down starting the same in the country. Could you tell me where We have all the good men on. Don't they know what's going on? This country we love, heading on a way trip, Father. Send down some guidance and leadership. Help, Father, send a hand. Or send down a man. Tell me who to trust. Father, please, you want help, 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 help. We love you. We love you. We love you. We love you. Everybody. Help. 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 Send on a man.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We need to get serious, TNT, and stop this set of talk. Action speaks louder than words. Trinidad! How are we stop now? How are we stop now? All these set of motors, all these set of talkers. All who just say that they love up this country, but they love action, boy, we don't see stop now. How are we stop now? We like to beat we chest, boast and brag. That's how we love Tobago and Trinidad, but we don't walk the walk, much less to talk the talk. I realize we are a nation of talkers. We're not a nation of doers. It's hard to admit, all we give this country is lip service. You see, we talk, or we want the crime to stop. Yet as a people together, we won't rise up. It's only talk. It's only talk, talk. It's only talk. You see, we talk how too much our guns and tongue, but what reports the youth man we know have won is only talk. It's only talk, talk. It's only talk. When would we realize that the talk can mean nothing until we get up and do something? We doing the country an injustice with all this set of lip service. You see, it's only talk. It's only talk. It's only talk. And we don't walk the walk. Cause boy, it's only talk. How are we stop now? How are we stop now? All the pretenders, all the impersonators, as they open their mouth is TNT, but not a hand outstretched to help. She stop now. How are you stop now? You say the red, white, and black, it's in your heart, but as things get rough, hear them start. Not me and this place again. Then they're ready to board a plane. Where is the love you said you have in your heart? How so quickly you ready to part? Boy, it's only lip. All you give in this country is lip service. You see, we talk how we have respect for women, but this bitch and hoe you're calling them is only talk. It's one set of talk. You see, we talk how you call yourself a man, but as I get vexed, ready to raise your hand. It's only talk. Oh yeah. It's only talk. When would we realize that the talk can mean nothing until we get up and do something? We doing the country an injustice with all this set of lip service. It's only talk, 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 talk. It's only talk. We only talking. And we don't walk the walk, because it's only talk. I want we stop now. I want we stop now. All the jokers, all the mischief makers, all who does say they pray for this country but praying for hard times to keep strangling we. Stop now. I want we stop now. All who does walk about this country wearing a smile but in their heart is bad mind all the while. Boy, them on a mission, only to spread bad vibration. And every time you'll see them boys they talking, but nothing for this land they doing. I love you they insist, but it's only love with lip service. You see we talk how we love this nation, but not support from the opposition. It's only talk. It's only talk. You see we talk how we here to serve people, but party politics making people struggle. It's only talk. It's one set of talk. When would we realize that the talk can mean nothing until we get up and do something? We doing the country an injustice with all this set of lip service. Oh boy, it's only talk, 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 talk. It's only talk. We love to talk, we talk, we talk. And we don't walk the walk because it's only talk. I want we stop now. I want we stop now. All these set are talking without doing nothing. So if you claim that you love this country, then love through action. That we don't see that now. I want you start now. Come let return this love into action. Make a meaningful contribution and start to walk the walk. And not just talk the talk. Let we stand for Trinidad and Tobago and shape our brighter tomorrow. Let's all make the shift from only giving this country lip service. So no more talk to bring we sportsmen down. Let us lift them up and carry them on. No more talk. No more talk. No more talk. Show that you love this land. Support Kaiso, Steve and Chutney Parang. No more talk. No more talk. It's time we realize that the talk can mean nothing. Come let us get up and do something. Let me give the country some justice and stop this set of lip service. No more talk. No more talk. No more talk. It's time we walk the walk and stop the set of talk. Yeah, for real, T&T. This set of talking not making sense. We have to walk the walk. Action speaks louder than words. Roger says so. Ciao.
You talk about a place where the people are carefree living. It is such a place of fun-loving, spraying and fetting. This the land where people don't care if Ash Wednesday fall on Good Friday. Man, they love the struggle in this happy-go-lucky way. Is Blokorama, Fetorama, and just now is Masorama. So the foreigner come for carnival, and he telling himself after he had a ball. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. It's the foreigner in La Trinity, the people have a carnival mentality. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. They are not serious, very few conscious, so I cannot agree with my own chorus. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. But I hear some people talking about Revolution Day, changes on the way. They're born in a land, the better parts controlled by the alien. They fill the pockets of Portuguese, Chinese, and Syrians. Trinidadians is Pouchet own land. Now is the time to make the land their possession, but their sense of taste could just trace to all them fancy showcase. So the businessman, he blow their mind, and his dollars, them got to find. Trinidad is nice for men like Sabda, Kapalani, Maraj, and YD Lima. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. Business expanding, more banks they billing, so is the capitalists and them push it sing. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. And like the slave masters want to bring back the whip, and the chorus singing like they on a trip. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. But I hear my sister talking about Revolution Day, fire on the way. They don't know their worth, like they haven't a sense of value. They don't know their rights, even that they cannot argue. 750,000 people cannot get up and do something about the struggle, or to plan for the next holiday, to get their lives away, and forgetting that they own the soil of which their foreparents toil. For the people who form the constitution laws, for the oppressors and foreign investors. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. Amoko and Shell business depends well on your oil, them foreign parasites dwell. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. Yet the song I sing, like if I hear the chorus singing, God save the King. Trinidad is nice, Trinidad is a paradise. But I hear my brother talking about Revolution Day, fighting on the way.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's In the Village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. And we come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you know, in the village, we originate, we don't imitate. So, doesn't matter what color t-shirt you have on. If you have on a pink t-shirt, you have on a blue t-shirt, you have on a salmon t-shirt, a red, a green, a orange, a yellow, a brown. Doesn't matter what planet you're from. If you're from Mazatanius, Tazaranius, Saturnuranius, Venuranius, whatever planet you're from, you are welcome in the village with the Dat triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Let me bring in no other than we getting a little feedback from you, Tommy.
Okay,
Let's
my
bring in.
AC. Let me put on my headset.
Yeah.
But the AC is
Let's bring in
on.
no other than. All right. So let me bring in. All right, Tommy, I'll come back to you.
No problem.
Yeah, let me bring in no other than Diana Waveney McDonald Greta Stormy the Storm Trin Beige Gonian Bajan from Nelson Street, Barbados, McDonald Benskin.
Well, I have to correct you. I am not from Nelson Street. I am from Hillaby, St. Thomas, and St. Augustine, Trinidad and Tobago. I ain't from Nelson Street. Get it straight.
My mistake on
Get
your
it straight now. My grandmother, you don't find no Benskins in Nelson Street. We'll pass you there.
I apologize.
Yeah, you need to apologize.
Yeah. I thought somebody was here previously.
What? I'm not knocking anybody from Nelson Street because I tell you, you go there, you're safer than any other part. People not going to trouble you.
Yeah, but you know, people will say different than Nelson Street. People want to say Nelson Street, and they take a talk on Nelson Street in Trinidad. Because, but you know, I thought you also get rid of Nelson Street.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of Nelson Street. We gotta get rid.
Yeah, we gotta get rid of Nelson Street.
Let me bring in no other than Tommy, the commissioner in Newark, Marshall Nisbet. Welcome, Thomas.
Good evening, family. How are you both doing today?
We good, you know.
I doing fantabulous and splendiferous. I don't know about how the Bajan from close to the street there in Trinidad,
St. Augustine, and I'm from Hillaby here at St. Thomas. Don't pay no mind.
I thought it was on Page.
I was born in Page. I grew up in St. Augustine. I grew up in Hillaby, St. Thomas also, Barbados.
Like you just forget where you're born? I thought you were born in Barbados.
How can I forget my birth paper? Trinidad and Tobago say I'm born in Page.
I thought people was telling people running around telling people you're born in Barbados. Oh, okay.
I born in Trinidad to two Bajans.
Oh, okay. How two of them end up in Trinidad?
Long story, love. She run behind the man of her dreams. That's just what I was told. But he ran behind another woman and back and out break up.
Oh, all right. So those feedback, my father from Tobago, my father lives in Tobago.
And here come Diana in the middle, the beautiful gem the two of them created. You know, they didn't want this beautiful little brown skin baby, so.
Oh, okay.
Well,
hey.
Okay, so you have to celebrate them, right, Diana?
Celebrate who?
Those creators.
I was created. I came from the Jehovah. They were only the two vessels that.
So the vessels ain't getting no credit.
And they're the only two. Jehovah. I'm a child of Jehovah. There was two vessels that brought me here.
Yeah, Tommy, listen, our first guest is already sitting in the background, so let's get. Nana told us 7:30, right?
Yeah, I told them 7:30, but
okay,
it's 7:25. You blasting music.
Yeah, well, listen, we have a little kind of routine,
Hello, they're underneath Gary Griffith, and Gary Griffith is a military man, so they're gonna be punctual.
But wait.
That's a good sign. That's a real good sign.
But wait, not Tommy. I don't understand what she mean. The underneath guy. What she mean by that?
They on they with running with it. They're representing his party.
I
So
mean, Guy Griffith is the political leader.
leader, exactly. Well, you know what I
All
mean.
right, all
Under
right.
his banner, whatever.
You
I
know,
don't mean that. I don't mean it like they,
I'm
demoted
not
in
as
that kind of
intelligent
way.
as you know, Diana. So I just had
Oh
to
my
make
God.
sure I
Eh,
understand what it's about. You know what I mean?
So
Anyway,
his
let me
leadership
quickly.
style will transcend downward.
Oh,
Punctuality.
all right, all right. So let me quickly say welcome to Takesha. Of course, Takesha was first in the village tonight. Takesha first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seven, eight, 9, 10. Then Nadia comes, Takesha and Nadia, two of them had to win some type of award for being so loyal to the village here, man.
Don't
I
tell
feel
Nadia where Stormy is, eh? She gonna be
no,
vexed.
We
so, Stormy going in another day camp.
they
For
So,
2 weeks,
the original
Takesha. For
they are
two
the
weeks,
original village
Nadia.
sweethearts.
yeah. Oh, God, boy, Takesha does start early, she ain't wasting on. Takesha says, please, can someone get on Mr. Hines about the crime situation, especially in the Port of Spain environs? All right, Takesha.
But Mr. Hines said that the safety of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago is not his job.
Whose job it
Then
is?
Well,
that's what he said, right?
But
Okay.
but the acting commissioner want to put them police in them back in short pants. Is that why? Is that true? Is
So
that true?
if it is not the Minister of National Security to secure citizens of the country, the
Okay.
police commissioner, he drink I don't know what.
But
He in
this
La
is
La
kind
he in La La Land.
this is sad. Takesha said, I just feeling to keep my kids and grandkids inside and not let them out. Not even to go to school, it's sickening. But I ain't gonna lie, eh? Nadia says good night, Tommy, Diana,
oh boy.
Albert, Vonnie. One love in the village, no room for hate. Full 100, Nadia. Full 100. As we say in the village, we welcome
Good night,
every,
Nadia.
every. Lana, go look, Lana come with
La
one set of emoji tonight, boy. Lana in a good mood tonight.
Lana
Somebody
vex
give
with me
Lana a
too.
plan something. Highly straight out of
Yeah.
Canada, what taxi inside. So, guys, you already have our first guest lined up and waiting. As Diana said, um, I guess when they say 7:30 on the dot,
That's right. Leadership style trickle
Which is
downward. Ain't you
Yeah.
said the fish
which
just
is a
rotten
good
from the head?
good sign.
You-
Which is a very good sign. That means
no,
that they would have no qualms about what their jobs are or would
yeah,
be or
yeah.
should be.
Hey, and we next guest don't jump into already, I
Oh,
tell you,
yeah.
boy,
What I tell you?
yeah, boy, joke, boy. Guy, if it get them fellas some stone one,
It's 20
Oh,
laps around
God.
the savannah.
Yeah, boy. If you ain't coming 20 laps in our army boots,
Oh gosh.
Oh, God. Well,
Oh,
yes. Let me just say quickly who else is in here. Kevin Saran, good night. Welcome. I think this is Kevin's first time in the village. Welcome, Kevin.
welcome, Kevin. Give Kevin a
Welcome,
big
welcome to the
village
village,
welcome,
Karen.
everybody.
Mr. Saran.
Nadia,
Yeah.
I have to travel and Stormy. I'm going somewhere. So
Oh,
there's nobody to keep Stormy. You want to come and babysit him?
let me say welcome
Oh,
to Carice,
I'll be
Ken
an
John.
expensive babysitter.
Yeah, Ken Johnny inside, welcome. Let me see. Let me see who else is here. Ken John.
He said, yes, it is.
Who's that?
Kevin Saran says, yes, it is. I wonder if he related to Paul Saran.
Diana. I was now gonna ask that question too. I was just gonna ask that question. But wait now. I wonder if that's Paul cousin boy. Okay. So, folks, let's bring in our first two guests tonight. We have two guests in the village tonight. Let me bring in. So guys, Guyana and Tommy, I'll be switching between me getting off and you guys getting on and stuff
Yeah,
like
you
that.
go ahead. You
Yeah. So let
Go
me
understand.
say
ahead.
welcome to. Let me do this. Let me say welcome to. No, we don't want to do that. Okay. Oh boy. All right. 1 minute, fella. 1 minute, folks. We'll be right with you. Okay, let me say welcome to two of the deputy political leaders from the National Transformation Alliance. And of course, I want to say thank you to our good friend here in the village, no other than Diana Benskin, who was able to get these two deputy political leaders of the NTA, the National Transformational Alliance, in the village lead that triplet on WZYE 95.9 FM. We are very glad that you guys can take the time to join us here in the village. Just give me 1 minute here. Oh, yes, of course. We have this deputy political leader, Mrs. Lorraine Pouchet. Pouchet, I hope I pronounced that correctly. And
Correct.
the other deputy political leader, Mr. Nikoli Edwards. Did I pronounce that correctly?
It's Nikolai.
Nikolai.
Good effort.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
effort.
You have to excuse my accent. I have a Chumakak accent. I'm actually from Chumakak. Grew up in Chumakak, Laventil. So,
Okay.
so I tend to kind of mess up words a little bit. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Fine, thank you. I'm grateful that
Fine.
you're having me on. Yes.
Yeah. Happy to be here with you all.
Yeah, I'm listening. Okay. Well, this is the political season, so to speak, and we felt it would have been good for you guys to come to the vision. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with the National Transformation Alliance, right? And just give me 1 minute here. Yes, what's going on with the National Transformation Alliance? Now, Nikolai, let me start with you, right? I know you were a senator previously. By the way, you know what? Let me do this. Let me have each person introduce themselves before I start. Why don't we do that? Why don't we start with you, Mrs. Pouchet? Why don't we start with you?
Okay, so you'd like me to introduce myself as
Yes.
per what I have been involved in?
Yes, just tell us a little bit about your involvement. I mean, I have stuff with you in involvement, but I want to hear it from you as far as your involvement and how did you come to this point now as deputy political leader of the NTA?
Okay, well, I have been involved in dealing with people for many, many years. I first worked in the bank and then I went into psychology and counseling. I'm a therapist, a counseling therapist. And I've also been dealing with people through the tourism industry as part of my husband's business. But I was a very strong member of the Congress of the People. Worked in the Diego Martin Central constituency as the chair of that constituency. And then I rose up in the ranks of the Congress of the People to be a deputy political leader. My passion has always been about treating all our people equally, having all our people have access to all the largesse of our country, and helping our youth and our elders to be able to enjoy a quality of life that they are entitled to. So when the NTA was formed and I was asked to come on board, it was without any hesitation that I said yes, because when I looked at the people who were already involved and who had planned to become involved, it was a party that had attracted a lot of professionals, a lot of people who were concerned about the direction our country was taking, and that we needed to get together to do something about it. So that's why I'm here with the NTA, actually.
So a quick question. When were you the chairman of the National Carnival Commission?
That was in 2015.
Oh, in 2015. Were you?
2015 for 1 year. Yes. As the government changed, I was moved, but I was there for 1 year.
Oh.
I was also on the board of NEDCO and several other boards.
Right.
I loved the NCC because my passion is culture. I have a passion for the culture and showcasing all the various genres and culture of our people. And I felt I was going to be able to impact in a powerful way. I did some work in the first year, but when governments change, they do move people and who they may not think is aligned to their particular vision.
And that's understood. That's fully understood.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go to the next young man here, Nikolai. Let me bring Nikolai in.
Sure. Yes.
So Nikolai, welcome. So Nikolai, I just want to add a little something on you, right? In that, first of all, you were appointed as a temporary senator in 2017 by former President Anthony Carmona, right? You also had previously launched your political party called the Progressive Party in June 2019, right? And I did not notice that you also ran for San Fernando West previously, right? So that's just a little bit about you. So you tell us a little bit about yourself. Now, before you go, your party still in existence, or is it?
Yes, I am still holding on as the political leader of the Progressive Party, in addition to my responsibilities as deputy political of the NTA. And probably I can start just giving you some background into how I got to the point of launching my own political party. I've been involved in youth development work in Trinidad and Tobago for some time, since 2009. And over the years, gradually, I was able to build and to really help the youth movement in Trinidad and Tobago, but not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but regionally and internationally as well. I was able to serve as Vice Chairperson, Policy, Advocacy and Projects of the Commonwealth Youth Council, which represents 1.2 billion young people across the Commonwealth. So I had the honor of representing Trinidad and Tobago on that council, the first ever Trinbagonian to have a seat on that council. But over the years, I have worked in the youth development space, even at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine, where I served on the Guild of Students in various capacities over the years. I was appointed, as you mentioned, by President Anthony Carmona back in 2017 as a temporary independent senator. So just for all of those who are looking on, wondering, well, exactly what is a temporary independent senator? In Trinidad and Tobago, in the upper house or the Senate, we have government senators, opposition senators, and independent senators. The independent senators are appointed by the president on his or her discretion. And among all senators, once a senator is ill or out of the country, there is an opportunity to put someone there temporarily. I had the opportunity to serve 7 times during the course of 2017, and the first ever piece of legislation that I was able to debate and to vote on had to do with ending child marriages in Trinidad and Tobago. So one of my proudest moments. From there, I served on the procurement board of Trinidad and Tobago at the discretion of the president, and I have served on other boards, local school boards, the board of a credit union, and then it brought me to this point where I really entered politics in a more serious way. So in 2019, I launched the Progressive Party because I simply felt as though none of the existing political entities appealed to me as a young person. And from there, I contested the 2020 general election for San Fernando West. Unfortunately, I was not successful that round. And it got me to the point of recognizing the importance of collaborating with other political entities. And so the NTA was being formed. I had some insight into what the party was meant to do, which is to serve as a standalone political organization and as well an umbrella organization. And it really appealed to me. So now I hold the dual responsibility of political leader of the Progressive Party and deputy political leader of the NTA, both institutions very much aligned in terms of philosophy as well as practical underpinnings. And it has landed me here on your program today.
we want to say thank you so very kindly. Let me bring back in Diana and Tommy back in here now. Yeah. So here is my first question, right, to you guys. Right? What is the NTA going to bring differently to the space in Trinidad and Tobago where the other parties are not bringing? And Nikoli, I can start with you, right? Now,
Sure.
I know that you guys are not the political leader, right? But this question is that, being that it already seemed to be a merger between Nikoli, your party, and the NTA, I mean, are you guys open to merging with other parties in Trinidad and Tobago, or is that something that's off the table? Nikoli, you can take it first, and then Lorraine, I'll come to you.
So what is different, very much as we're seeing right now, the NTA is all-embracing, all-encompassing, and has extending an invitation to other political entities across Trinidad and Tobago, as well as independent candidates who over the years have tossed their hat in the political ring. And this is what attracted me to the NTA, because it's not one of those institutions that simply says we can do it alone or we're going to run alone. We don't need anyone. So it's already demonstrating humility. It's demonstrating an understanding that, yes, to get there fast, you might have to go alone, but to get further, you have to go with others. And already by demonstrating that, I think people are recognizing that this is the difference with the NTA. The NTA has recognized that people have been asking for collaboration. People on the ground have been asking for alternative parties, as I call them, to join together, to band together in order to really bring good governance to Trinidad and Tobago. And I can say from the jump that because the Progressive Party has been the first to join up with the NTA, we can very much expect other entities. We have Errol Fabian, who has contested the St. Joseph seat over the years, and he has come on board as the Director of Communications. And I think this is what is very much attractive to the population of Trinidad and Tobago at this point.
Thank you so much. So Lorraine,
I have a question. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Lorraine. You want to add anything to that? Your mic is muted.
Okay, hearing me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Nikoli explained that very well, but I just want to clarify something and perhaps take it a little further along. The National Transformation Alliance is two-pronged. It is the newest type of alliance, if you want to say, that most of our people in Trinidad and Tobago do not understand, and they will get to understand as we go along and we roll out what we are about. So we are two-pronged. We are a political party, yes, but we are also a movement, and that movement welcomes supporters. So yes, you can be a member of the National Transformation Alliance, but you can also be a supporter of the movement. And we're not interested in whether you have another party card. That's not our business. What we are concerned about is as a supporter, and as you come on board, that you understand that we are about the benefit of the nation, about each and every person in Trinidad and Tobago. So what we want is that we don't want to pick somebody to put in a position because we think that they belong to the party. We want to pick somebody in different positions who have the expertise and that gray matter between the two sides of their head that will help them to help us to reach the point of what we call first world status, and as a nation that we can develop to a point where we can assist all our people to have what they require, so that it is both a party and an alliance, a transformation alliance, as we say, so that you can be a supporter and come in, and we will welcome any and everybody who wants to be a supporter in this process.
Thank you so
much.
Hope
that clarifies it.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Mrs. Pouchet. How are you doing? This is Diana.
Hi, Diana. How are you?
I'm great. I am great and blessed, highly flavored.
Very happy to be here.
Okay, good. We know your political leader is Mr. Gary Griffith, and he has a wide expanse of experience: military, Minister of National Security, Commissioner of Police. But there's also some angst associated with him, with some of his statements he's made in the past. And, people can be forgiving, and say, well, hey, we can forgive him. How does the National Transformation Alliance assure voters that Mr. Gary Griffith's statements does not become his mission statement?
Excellent question. And I think if we look at history throughout the many, many years in all countries, not only in Trinidad and Tobago, we will recognize that leaders all have their own little idiosyncrasies. They all have their way about them, and sometimes they step out of line, sometimes they speak out of turn. But what Gary has done is bring together a team of professionals, a team of people who are committed, which he understands that working with this team, and we have been working as a great team, that we can honestly and openly talk to each other about the things that we think we should fix with ourselves, and also the things that we think that we should really put out there. Gary has an amazing ability to understand about crime and all the things that you have made, but he is also very open to criticism within the team. He is also very open to listening to ideas from within the team, and we have consensus when we make a decision on the way forward. And this is what we want. We don't want an autocratic leader who will just say, jump here, do this. We have had too many of those, and we need to change it because we need to also have a leader who is willing to listen to the people who are the experts in the area that they are. So, yes, we would have all, including myself, made missteps and misstatements, but we learn from them and we move on.
And I want to say, on the heels of the statement, I see things people tend to put out, in social media and in the news, and they seek to malign their competition. Um, I've never voted in Trinidad and Tobago because I migrated when I was young. All right, and if I don't have my ID card yet under the PNM, I can't get back my ID card. So if I ever get my ID card, me voting for them. Right. And I don't like what I'm hearing
How come
about
the PNM preventing you from getting your ID card?
them in power right now, and every time I go to the offices, I
All
set a
because he's a
bacchanal with
Bajan.
them.
Which one? Which one is it?
I am a Trini Bajan. I just carried both my roots.
All right.
And when I present the US ID, they have problems with it. But anyway, how I want Gary Griffith to fix that, or Watson Juke, or whoever gets in, that people like myself can get back the ID card to vote. And I'm going to say it here. People may not, you don't have to agree with me. Despite the way he treated my boss when he came on here as a guest on our show, and despite his negative and statements, distasteful statements, if I had a chance to vote in Trinidad and Tobago, I'm telling you now, I probably would vote for Gary Griffith. You know why? Because the element of safety for a woman is important. And Gary Griffith represents, keep the criminal element under control. And apparently it was like he was mashing some toes, and that is why allegedly Dr. Rowley was not happy with him. Right? Me personally, if I had to pick, I probably would vote for Mr. Griffith because of all the experience he's had, all the different offices he's held. I said what I said.
Can I just say something?
I said what I said.
Sure.
One is you don't pelt a tree that doesn't have fruit. That's number one. I think I should answer something that you said there. But secondly, one of the tenets of one of the discussions and one of the main goals of the NTA is to ensure that our people who are abroad, the diaspora, will not be excluded from having the ability to vote. We are going to be looking at different types of voting, whether it is that you have to come here, whether you have to mail in your vote, whatever it is. Once we are in power, we are going to be ensuring that people will have the right to be able to vote. You cannot disenfranchise a whole constituency who are in our diaspora, who are overseas, wherever they be, and not give them the right to determine the path that their country of origin is supposed to take.
Let me say this. Let me see if Nikoli wants to say anything. Nikoli, you want to jump in?
Sure. It's so very important. Over the years, I myself have heard the anxiety of members of the diaspora. The fact is that many people left Trinidad and Tobago for one reason or another. And more importantly, I think they felt as though a better life awaited them outside of Trinidad and Tobago. That speaks volume about the environment in Trinidad and Tobago, where many people simply feel as though they cannot make it in their own country. And that's something that, based on conversations and so forth with Gary, we have recognized that he is passionate about bringing people back home. And even if you're not in Trinidad and Tobago, you should have a stake or a say in the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago, because you still have a responsibility, a duty, and obligation to the land of your birth. And we need to be able to create pathways for engagement. It should not be only a matter of every time the Prime Minister or an official goes abroad and they call a town hall meeting, that's the only avenue for members of the diaspora to be able to interact with the politicians in Trinidad and Tobago and the decision makers. I know that in many other countries, even if you are abroad, you have the opportunity to go to the High Commission or the consular and be able to cast your vote. We should be able to say that in Trinidad and Tobago, our people abroad mean something to us, and they should be given the opportunity to be involved in the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago. So this is one of the aspects of the NTA that you can definitely put your head on a block and say that we will pursue, because we have family members abroad. I'm actually coming to you from New York right now, where I am visiting family members, and many of them long to come back to Trinidad and Tobago, but safety and security is high on the agenda for them. And just imagine a country that you can return to where there is safety, but more importantly, where there are opportunities for those to be involved. It should not be that you come to Trinidad and Tobago and you can't get a job or you can't participate in the country's development. And the NTA is providing an opportunity for engagement so that we can get to that point where our members of the diaspora feel comfortable to return home.
You know, I want to add something, right, to Nikoli and Lorraine. You know, we in the diaspora have been made many promises in the past. We have been promised and promised and promised, and all we get is broken promises. Right? They have come and they have, you know, they have gone all about the place. They have gone into Brooklyn. They have gone to Medgar Evers. They have gone to the New York Stock Exchange.
In
They
your
have done many
basement.
things, and they come.
In your basement.
You know, and they come when they're in opposition, and they are bringing all these trinkets, you know, without any gold, silver, or bronze, and make all these promises. And as soon as they get into power, the diaspora is no longer the diaspora; it's just the poorer, because it's no longer the diaspora.
Or when you get to Piaco, what you coming here for?
Yeah. What you coming here for? You know, and I hear what the NTA is saying, and we in the diaspora, why can't we vote? In this country, if you're an American citizen and you're outside and you're in the army, if you're even on Mars, if you're on planet Mars, you could vote. If you're on Venus, you could vote. In Trinidad and Tobago, somehow you have to come back to Trinidad and Tobago to vote. I mean, what you guys are saying makes a lot of sense, but it's only that we have gotten so much promises in the past, you know, that we wonder, we ask ourselves, is these are just promises again?
Well,
yes, Lorraine, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say that the team that we are pulling together are not people who promise. We are doers. And we understand, because all of us, if not all, most of us have family outside. And we understand exactly what Nikoli said about the angst and how people feel outside. You all feel like second-class citizens. You all feel like you all don't even matter. And that is not what we're about. Anybody who has their navel string buried in this country is entitled part of the process of where this country goes.
Say that again, Ms. Pouchet. Could you say that again about the navel string? Say that clearly.
Buried in this country, you're supposed to have a right to be able to determine or to contribute to the determination of where we are going.
Talk your talk. Yeah.
And I didn't get involved with the NTA because I like to talk. I got involved in the NTA because I'm a doer. And we need to ensure that we find the systems in place to be able to reach the diaspora and to get everybody. It was one of the saddest things I saw when elections came about in 2020 and so many of our people were out of the country. So many of our people could not come back home because that was the only avenue for them. That frustration, you know, I was getting phone calls all the time from my friends and family abroad, frustrated that they could not come back. So we have to get over that hurdle. There's too much interconnectivity now for us to be able to say you actually have to take a plane and come home to vote. There's too much interconnectivity, and we have to get on that train.
Sure. If I could just add to that, because I myself am fed up of promises, broken promises by politicians. But the only way that we can overcome that is to not simply just promise things to persons who we hope would vote for us, but to ask them to get involved. And that's the best way that I think you can ensure that we stick to our promises, that we are accountable to you by persons getting involved in the institution that is the NTA. And remember, you don't have to be a member, a card-bearing member. You can be a supporter. And if you are seeing policies and positions that are being executed around the world, bring that to our attention. Give it to us so that we can consider and factor that into our campaign, so that when we do enter office, we are able to have that mandate be top of mind. So this is, of course, a call for persons to get involved. You simply cannot just listen to what the members of the NTA are saying. You have to seek your best interest. You have to put an institution into office that best represents you. And the best institution to represent you is one that you are involved in.
So,
and Nikolai, is it Anselm talking to me right now?
Yeah.
I want to just say something. I have this way
Yeah.
when something is in my head, I gotta say. Sorry about that.
Yes.
But he spoke and he made a statement there. You don't have to be a card-bearing member, and that's important because the type of politics we have seen over the, I don't know, almost 6 years, minus a few, is that if you're not a card-bearing member of the party in power, you're not going to get any benefits. Most of the time, you do not get the benefits. And we want to move away from that. Because how do you build a country when everybody has a stake in it? When everybody is treated equally? So for us, that whole trajectory, that whole choice of becoming, yes, you can be a party member, but you can be a supporter, be part of who we are, bring your ideas, we welcome you, and you will benefit like everybody else to what Trinidad and Tobago has to offer.
So thank you so much, Lorraine and Nikolai. What we're going to do, we're going to go for a quick station identification. And I actually, people are actually texting me questions for you guys.
No problem. No problem. Hope we can answer them.
And the funny thing is that the person is not even in my contacts, you know. So stick and stay. We'll be right back. It's in the village with the Dad Triplets at WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we have with us tonight, you know, the two deputy political leaders of the National Transformation Alliance, Mrs. Lorraine Pouchet and Nikolai Edwards, joining us here tonight in the village. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this short message. In the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's in the village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. If you want to call us, you can call us at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444. That's the WhatsApp number. If you want to send us a voice message, you can also send us a voice message at 973-868-1444. We'll play a voice message. Just make sure it's clean. Right now, here is the question from that person. It says, "Hi, good night. I'm locked on. What I would like to know is your intentions. What is your intention be to meet everyone, regardless of the communities, or are the NTA just going to meet people who belong to a certain status?"
Wow, what a question! I will say something very brief, and I'm going to let Nikolai take it from there. Listen to me. Okay. We have no status in our citizens. We are all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and we are going to be relating with, meeting with, touching every single person who wants to meet with us from whatever community they are, because we need to understand that most of the problems that we have with crime, it starts from the communities. It starts from the family systems that are broken down.
95.9 FM, Maplewood, New Jersey.
You're hearing the
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, it starts. The crime situation that we have is because of the decay and because of our us not taking seriously the issues that the man in the street, that every single person in this country needs to have, which is security of home, security of job, security of opportunities, education. All these various issues must be looked at in a holistic way. And therefore, we need to be meeting every single person who wants to meet with us, not a sector of the society. We are all one. Nikolai, over to you.
Sure. And when you look at even the makeup of the party thus far, it's diverse individuals who have come from different backgrounds. I mean, you have the likes of Errol Fabian, you have the likes of Gary Griffith, you have Lorraine, myself, Captain Dindial, and others who are coming on board and who would be announced in the next couple of weeks. And you would recognize how diverse the team is. And each person has their own constituency. And when I say constituency, I'm not just talking about the elections and boundaries defined constituencies, but the individuals who they represent. Of course, I represent youth, younger persons who feel disenchanted, who feel left out. When we talk about issues such as GATE, the Government Assistance for Tuition Expenses Program, when we talk about environmental issues and whether or not Trinidad and Tobago is really making the right investments to secure our future, I bring that kind of energy to the table, and you have others who bring different aspects to the table, and we are open. I mean, you have the numbers there that you can call us, you can check us out on social media, and we are open and frank, and that is what we need right now. It's not about how much you support the party or how much you contribute to the party. Gone are the days where people feel that's the only way to get involved and to make a difference. And if the NTA has to be the standard bearer to say that, this is what politics could look like in Trinidad and Tobago. It should no longer be, according to Gary, the ketchup and mustard. But you have other flavors, other options out there. And of course, the NTA is opening its arms to all persons who maybe feel as though, it's better that we work together, that we give people a chance, an opportunity. We want to see individuals holding ministerial portfolios for which they are qualified. Whichever government have you known over the past couple of years have made a deliberate attempt to put subject matter experts in positions or in fields where they can actually make the greatest impacts. I mean, look, you have someone coming from a background of national security in Gary Griffith, our political leader. And it's his stint in terms of national security didn't just start at the commissioner's office, but he would have been a national security advisor to the Prime Minister before he was the Minister of National Security. And you're seeing where we are able to effectively contribute to the discourse and present solutions to many of the issues that are affecting Trinbagonians. So I am very, very confident that no one will be left behind. It's not about power. It's not about power at all. It's about service to country. And when you have that really as a mantra, you can expect a caliber of people to come forth that would best represent the interests of all segments of society.
So here is another question, right? I'm going to get, well, Nikolai, since you are here,
Sure.
This is a question from Takesha. Takesha says, Mr. Edwards, what are your views on crime in this country?
Sure. Crime right now is a runaway situation. I mean, we're seeing murders upon murders, and one murder is a murder too much, quite frankly. And I think that the approach that we have taken over the years has been one where we see it as simply being a war on crime. You have to fight and push back in a particular way. But even if you have looked at the former commissioner, Gary Griffith, his stint in office, it was not simply about taking that hard and fast approach to crime. You had the gender unit coming under the TTPS. You had different units being developed, and it shows that there has to be a broader approach to crime. My background is actually in mediation because I did my postgraduate diploma and my master's in mediation studies, which is conflict resolution. So you have to understand that things such as community policing, you have to understand that things such as negotiation, arbitration, mediation, all of these things have to be part of the arsenal in terms of how we deal with crime and violence in Trinidad and Tobago. The fact is, people are hungry. people have been brought to their knees and see crime and violence in some instances as the only way for them to put food on the table. And of course, we don't believe that that should ever be an option. But the government, whichever government is in office, must provide avenues for its people to be successful. Whether it is to be successful entrepreneurs, whether it is to be successful in their various fields, whether it's in medicine, education, whatever it is, opportunities, I think, is what is lacking from the equation. And understanding that, yes, we need to strengthen institutions such as the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, we have to strengthen the DPP's office, we have to strengthen all of these arms. We also have to ensure that opportunities are made available, and you will see a reduction in crime and violence over time, especially as we are preparing the next generation, I think, to take the reins of the country forward.
Let me just quickly follow up on that. From just 1 minute, Lorraine. I just want to follow up something quickly on that. The person is giving you a compliment, Nikoli. They said, Mr. Edwards, being someone whose dad in the past had an impact in this country and was also murdered, I admired how you managed to hold it together and stand firm for the well-being of this country.
Thank you. And yes, I mean, without even having to mention that, I too understand how crime and violence can impact on someone's life. My father, he was on remand for 6 years. And that just goes to show how slow the wheels of justice turn in Trinidad and Tobago. Imagine 6 years you are in police custody or in the custody of the state, not knowing when your court date is going to come about because the DPP's office has not readily put forward the file and is ready to move forward with the matter. And because we had a broken system, my father was not able to access bail. And so for 6 years, you're sitting there not knowing what your future would hold, whether you would have an opportunity to go before the court. And I've often said in many interviews that when it came to my father, of course, I will not condone or did not support his decision to escape from the royal jail in Port of Spain. But what it made me understand is that in desperate times, people will do desperate things. And that situation was preventable. Had we had better justice available to citizens in Trinidad and Tobago, he may not have had to take the course of action that he did. Again, something that no one should ever do, because it disrupts society, it disrupts people's safety and security. And it's with that understanding, especially the effects of something like that on the family, on the community, and so forth. I'm very passionate about seeing justice, real justice in the country. So yes, I'm fired up. I have my own bias in terms of wanting to fix things in the country, but even broader than that, listening to people's stories. I mean, every day you pick up the newspaper, we're hearing of tragedy after tragedy. We saw a young girl recently, her body was found in a house, a makeshift house, when her mother left there. Too many people are losing their lives in the country. And the fact is, we have to take a different approach, and that's the only way we will bring about the kind of results that we require.
Okay, Lorraine, you wanted to say something?
No.
Well, actually, I'm not too sure what it was I wanted to say, but what I will say, based on what Nikoli has just shared with you all, every single member have 4 children, a husband, of course, and 4 children. And every single one of us has been a victim of crime in Trinidad and Tobago. And I remember when the crime started to go up in a way that was kind of scary for me, because I always look at history and compare to other countries and so on. And I said to my friends, we feel that we are safe in the West or in this area or in that area, but sooner or later it's going to be all over this country. I'm a Roman Catholic, and as part of my work, I do my healing workshops and my development workshops to all different groups of persons in Trinidad and Tobago. And there was a time when we were allowed to and invited to go into the prisons to do it with the pre-release prisoners. That means that these are prisoners who are supposed to come out within 3 months or so. And I remember it was a 5-week program, 1 day for the week. And I remember going in there and seeing the sense of hopelessness in the eyes of these prisoners, in inverted commas, The first group I dealt with was 20 males, because we chose the males because we felt that that was the area that needed the most impact. And we chose the males, and they were from the ages of 22 to 50 something. And sorry, hold on a second. And the response was absolutely amazing, because these are people that wanted to contribute. They didn't want to be there, but there was such a sense of hopelessness, because inside those prison walls, there is nothing really that was going to help them to come out, integrate back into society, to be somebody who could contribute to society. And then we had the whole stigmas attached to where people came from. Okay, and I remember being asked not too long ago, about 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, to go into Maloney to do my workshop. And I remember a friend calling me and telling me, "Are you crazy?" I said, "What do you mean if I'm crazy? Of course I'm going." And they said, "No, you can't go there. That is so dangerous." I said, "It's only dangerous if you are attracting danger for some particular reason. If you're going to do the work that you're supposed to do and you believe that it is divinely ordained, there's absolutely no reason for me not to go into Maloney." And it was one of the most fulfilling experiences of my life in dealing with people in Maloney. So that was to answer your question about, we are not going to be discriminating against anybody. Every single body born in this country needs to get the level of attention. But we do, as Nikoli said, have a serious problem with the crime. But the crime is the end result of the apathy and the fact that we have not ensured that our citizens have the requisite ability to fish, if you want to put it that way, to be able, and not get a handout, but to be able to supply for themselves, have that pride in being able to support themselves and their families. And it goes from that. And what we have happening is that those people who are really, I wouldn't say, let me see, facilitating the crime, they prey on people like that. And it is a chicken and a hen situation, an egg and a chicken situation. And we need to be able to holistically, and this is why the people that we are choosing are people who can bring some semblance of sanity and order to how we go about rolling out what the NTA stands for.
Tommy has a question.
Tommy, you wanted to say something?
No, yes. Now, I have been following Nikoli for a while, and he probably would remember me talking with him a couple of years ago. And in my opinion, I think he is to Trinidad what Fali is to Tobago. And I realize that this effort is a very large effort, and in order to win, because you're going into politics to win, in order for the NTA to win, they're going to have to be able to attract the other splinter or small groups that are vying for political office also. What is truly the plan to unite all these small splinter groups and small parties to truly win power in Trinidad and Tobago? Else, it's going to be a effort that's going to be futile, knowing the strength of the other two, the yellow and the red.
Well, it starts with exactly what we're doing right now. We've opened the door. We have issued a call to all political parties to consider having a conversation with us, first and foremost, seeing where our philosophical and practical ideologies align. Because the fact is, when you think about all these political parties across Trinidad and Tobago, outside of the red and the yellow, many of them are saying the same thing. They're saying that we want a better Trinidad and Tobago. They are bringing forth ideas to the population for consideration. But the problem is that political parties in Trinidad and Tobago, once you are outside of the red and yellow, it is extremely difficult for you to be successful. The government has brought, the Prime Minister, as a matter of fact, has brought before Parliament the Representation of the People Amendment Bill 2020. And now that is to actually allow, for the first time in Trinidad and Tobago's history, the recognition of political parties. Because if you understand our constitution and you understand the laws of Trinidad and Tobago, a political party is not something that is actually recognized by the state. The Elections and Boundaries Commission does not even register political parties. It registers a symbol so that you are allowed to contest an election with this symbol moving forward. And so back in 2020, the government had introduced that bill. We are in 2022. That bill was sent to a joint select committee, and it is yet to come out of that committee. And the hope was back in 2020 that this piece of legislation would have actually been passed because it requires only a simple majority, which the government has. It would have been passed and thereby allowed other political parties to receive funding, to have a better engagement with the Elections and Boundaries Commission, to even consider things such as the use of government airtime across stations that would be equitable. But we're in 2020. We have a local government election that is set to come up at the end of this year, the beginning of next year, and it does not seem as though we are any closer to actually fixing the problems whereby the average citizen who has a desire to be of service to this country can actually offer themselves and actually be taken seriously by members of the population. The problem is, the more money you have, the better chances that people will hear you. And we need to fix that broken system. So it starts with us uniting with other political entities who are simply saying the same thing. We are not enemies. We should not be adversarial when it comes to one another. And the enemy as well is not simply the PNM and the UNC. The enemy is the system that currently exists. And the fact is that we have had political parties come into office and not touched that broken system and made the fixes necessary for our society as a whole to move forward. The NTA recognizes this from the jump, and that is why the political leader, Gary Griffith, is adamant that when we actually enter office, our mandate will be to make smaller government. That simply says government should not be so intrusive in your business. It should not be involved in the affairs in your bedroom. It should not be dictating and telling you what to do and how to do it. Government is there to work for and on behalf of the citizens of this country. And I believe all of us on the team have that same understanding. And it will be one of the things that we seek to do while in office. Put the power back into the hands of the people so that when you see a government voted into office, you don't have to wait 5 years for another opportunity to hold them accountable, but rather throughout that 5-year period, there will be avenues for you to hold the government accountable, but much rather ensure as well that the people have an actual say throughout that 5-year tenure.
Can I just add something? I want to add something about.
Yeah, go ahead, Lorraine.
Nikolai referred to parties getting together and understanding our vision. But this is not just about parties. This is about an alliance of minds. It's about an alliance of professionals, unprofessionals, non-professionals, whatever you want to call it. But of our people coming together, alliance of minds, bringing in their talent and their vision and their expertise. It's not just about the vote. We don't only want the vote. Yes, we want the vote, but we want them to bring their brains, their hearts, their expertise, and all the knowledge that they have. And we have people who have knowledge at all the levels in society. We just don't take them seriously because we believe that you have to have a degree behind your name. But there are many people out there who are on the ground, working hard, tirelessly, helping those who cannot help themselves at this time. And these people, we want to hear what they have to say too, because we can help and support and get other people to work with them to help us to bring this nation to where it is supposed to be. So we're looking not only at an alliance of people who are like-minded in parties, individuals who have the same mindset to get this country on the right path.
Nikolai,
Yes.
I want to say something. You know what? I'm listening to you, and you have a problem. You know what your problem is? You're making too much sense. no, I listening to you very, very well, and I say, boy, Nicola, you making too much sense, you know. You understand? Because it appears to me that in Trinidad and Tobago, right, there are some people who don't really want to listen to sense. You understand? They want to listen to nonsense. You know what I mean? And I listen to you, and you're making too much sense. You know.
I cannot make no sense at all.
Yeah, no.
No.
You are saying no, but listen, you forget. This is an alliance. This is the National Transformation Alliance. You know, so it's an alliance of people coming together. So if Nicholas making sense, right, then the National Transformation Alliance making sense, right?
Exactly.
But what it is that, yeah, what he's talking about, it's like really and truly, it's things we absolutely need in Trinidad and Tobago. But I don't know if the people of Trinidad and Tobago really want to listen to that type of sense. I don't know.
And you know, because you make a valid point insofar as the fact is that people, some of the things that I may be talking about right now are not things that would occupy the minds of the average Trinbagonians, because people are more concerned, and rightfully so, about the bread and butter issues. People are concerned about how they're putting food on their table, whether there is job security, whether or not if they pursue education and do everything that their elders are telling them to do, if in fact they would be successful. And quite often people feel as though they will not be successful. But this is where a political entity that has the expertise, the technical know-how, individuals who are really committed to lifelong work in various areas, you have to be able to trust those individuals to do the work that when you are sleeping, they are turning the wheels, lighting the candle at both ends to ensure that we have a better Trinidad and Tobago. So of course, many times we will not want to, as we say, sometimes confuse people about the political system and this, that, and the other. But you have to understand that we understand it from both aspects, from all sides. We know how to fix the system. We know what is necessary, but we also know the pain and the angst that people face on the ground. So we did not come about and say we want to enter politics just because we recognize that there is a need for voices in our parliament that are truly representative of the people. It should not be that your politicians, your representatives are representing only their political party, but rather the people who put them into office. And for far too long, we have seen where political parties have voted on legislation along party lines. Gone should be the days of that. We should have people voting in Parliament based on what their value system allows them to vote for, based on what the constituents are saying they want in Parliament. So this idea, while it might seem novel to many people, is exactly how we should be running our country. This is a country that we should be proud of. But many a times we feel frustrated, we feel vexed, we feel as though we want to leave. And rather than doing that, many people have said that, you know, I am going to stand up and be counted. And even members of the diaspora are doing great work in terms of representing what Trinidad and Tobago is outside. So whether it's in the United States, whether it's across Europe, whether it's in many other parts of the world, we have to understand that Trinidad and Tobago has some really, really patriotic people who may not be living in the country, but that has never stopped them from recognizing and acknowledging the red, white, and black. And we as an entity, as a political party, are simply here to bring all of those voices together because we know the hard work that it requires to get into office, and we want to bring everyone else along with us.
Lorraine?
Nikolai, let me just add to what he said there. The diaspora is critical for us. And this is where you all can be effective. You all can be effective in convincing your relatives to improve their circumstances. You all are a lot more exposed than the persons who only reside in Trinidad and Tobago. Because you all are out there, you all understand what's going on, not only in the USA, but all around the world, because you are part of the process. So you're seeing things a little differently to those who have been here all their life or who have been here most of their life and only travel for a while. So you understand what we need and what we've been talking about as the NTA that needs to happen in Trinidad and Tobago to take us to the place that we need to be. And we are a country that is so blessed with so many assets that we don't even know. It's not just about taking our carnival abroad. It's not just about that. We have too many people who are so gifted. We've seen just, I mean, for an island of 1.4, 1.5 million people, look at the impact we are making at all levels, in medicine, in sport, in all kinds of things abroad, okay? And we need the diaspora to come back home, or to at least to talk to their people in some way. When I say come back home, it may not be physical, but come back home in being a catalyst for the change through your being able to talk to your people to get them to understand. And I want to say that part of our constitution, which we didn't mention before, we are looking at, as we evolve, in having overseas branches of the NTA. And that would definitely be to the diaspora that is abroad. You will have to work out how you will abide by the constitution and so on. But we are looking at establishing overseas branches for anybody who is interested in being part of this movement. So I just want to put that invitation out there. And this is why we felt it was so important that not only one leader, the DPL, be here, but both be here. So you all can hear from differing views from what the NTA is about, you know. And if we don't start off, the youth is critical. And if we don't start off with the youth, because we have a youth NTA, if we do not start off with the youth, we know that we will not get where we need to be. Because if you look at any organization that has been successful, you will understand that they all have a youth arm, and that they all start off by getting people to understand and believe in their vision. And this is what we want to happen. Our diaspora, our youth, and anybody who is willing to come on board to believe in the vision for Trinidad and Tobago, for what we would like to see Trinidad and Tobago be. So I just wanted to put that in, that the overseas branches will be formed, and therefore you will be invited whenever that is concretized to be one of the persons that will send that message out on our behalf, if you will be willing to accept that.
Yeah. So Lorraine and Nikoli, first of all, let me read another comment. Someone says, I must admit, I'm very proud of you, Nikoli. And I want to say a lot of the guys who went to school with you, who I know personally, is striving for success. Yes, South have great leaders, and I hope you already take the country to another level, especially for the underprivileged and the special disabled. So that's the next comment that just came into my phone. I don't even know who the person is, I just said any comment. But let me say this, right? You know, I hear you guys on the diaspora, right? But many times people in Trinidad believe that we in the diaspora think that, you know, when we come back to Trinidad, we better than them, and we trying to do a job, and you know, you run from the country when you was 10, you know, and you want to come back now, and you understand, you think you're better than we, you know who they think is, and they tend to treat us like that, you know. I mean, how can we change that perception that we not coming back to change things, you know? We are coming back to help make the country better.
You see, it is what you are saying there is very symptomatic of the fact that because of the systems that we have been living in politically, we are quick to judge. We are quick to cast blame, to judge, and to point fingers somewhere else. What we don't realize is that when we're pointing a finger, for pointing back at us. And therefore, even though it may be a difficult task, you all still need, the diaspora still needs, because you have a vested interest in this country. You have, I'm sure you all have mummies, daddies, nephews, nieces, brothers, sisters who are still in this country. And your generations, you may not be here, but certainly there will be people connected to you who will be here. And therefore, that may be one of the things that we need to help our people to understand, because no matter where American goes, no matter where an Englishman goes, no matter where a Swede goes, no matter where a German goes, when they go back to their country, they are welcomed with open arms. Why don't we? Why are we judging our people? Because they wanted to get a better life? Because the opportunities were better out there at the time? Because they had families there and they wanted to go, because they went to university, they met someone, married and stayed there? That is not for us to judge. And we need to stop that, because that is what we do as a nation. We judge people a lot.
And actually, I just want to add on that we don't need to wait until members of the diaspora return to Trinidad and Tobago to be of service and to support them. And when I say we, I'm talking about the country as a whole. Why isn't the government making investments in Trinbagonians abroad, in their businesses, making grants available, because actually many times they are representing and flying the flag of Trinidad and Tobago high. This radio program, for instance, if there are grants being made available and so forth through the government locally, why can't that be extended beyond the borders? Because at the end of the day, we want to ensure that people recognize that Trinidad and Tobago has something to offer to the rest of the world. And you see where the creativity, the vibrancy of those who have left the shores of Trinidad and Tobago, they go abroad and they make impacts. And the first thing that we're willing to say is that that is a Trinbagonian, that is we own and so forth. We should not wait until they are successful, but rather we should be part and parcel of their success. And that is practically the vision that would guide us in terms of engaging with the diaspora, because we should not, again, as I say, wait until our people come home to treat them well. Even when they're outside, we have to send a strong message that all of our people matter to us.
Talk, Nikolai.
Nikolai.
I like Nikolai.
Yeah, Nikolai, you continue to make act. I write it down, I write it down in my notepad, You make sense.
Talk, Nikolai.
But no, Nikolai, let me say this. You are absolutely correct, I have said that we at this radio station here, I don't understand why we can't be part, the government, a public service announcement, for example. Public service announcement, right, to the diaspora. I mean, that's what I'm saying, really and truly, Nikolai, I really mean that. You're making a lot of sense. It is sense. And it seems sometimes that when people are talking sense, sometimes people say, is he really, does he really, they kind of second guessing, does he really mean that, boy? Because they be cynical, because of all this stuff that's happening in the past with the politicians and them. You see,
it's also because of the fact that even our local people, our local entrepreneurs cannot get the grants to help them to carry their business to another level.
Correct.
So that people will be talking about, why can't we give grants overseas? People are scratching their head and saying, but we can't even get it in Trinidad and Tobago. We can't even get it in Trinidad and Tobago. Just the example of the recent situation with the COVID. There are some sectors of this society never got a grant to help them to get their businesses back on their feet. And when these statistics come out, if they ever do, about how many businesses have closed, how many entrepreneurs have had to close shop because of the fact that they could not survive those 2 years without any business, particularly the tourism industry, then when Nikolai says something like helping people abroad, they will say, but that does sound plausible, because we can't get it here. Why would we be helping outside? Let us help those who home, but we have to understand, we need to understand that even in helping those abroad, we're helping those here.
Correct.
So it works both ways.
Correct.
Because Miss Pouchet, we have this forum here and quite a following. I don't know what is wrong with putting a tourism ad, a banner or something, Trinidad and pumping it up. You know what I mean? Trinidad and Tobago, yes, we know word of mouth, but to actually see it and hear it, right? I remember, not to take away from your time, I remember I went back to Trinidad and Tobago and tried to introduce a program to the Ministry of Education under the then Mr. Garcia, where you would tap into those retired teachers from different schools, send them into schools where you have troublesome kids and work alongside them and build their self-esteem and talk with them and be in touch with them. And I was quickly escorted out the door. Nobody knows who I am, who are you? And I'm a born Trini with Barbadian parents, but I have my heritage. I celebrate both my heritages, but I wanted to give back to the country that sent me on my way in life. I went to elementary school in Barbados and then Trinidad, and then secondary school in Trinidad and Tobago. So I wanted to, as a poet, as an author, they don't celebrate me in Trinidad. I finally get an invitation to come to perform in Tobago one time soon. And I was given an opportunity to give a keynote speech at Napa. But I feel and the background that I come from, was wrought with abuse and stuff. To put me in front of the troublesome children, and hey, I can relate to them, but nobody wants to hear from me. Oh, who is she? So, and I wanted to do it for free.
Diana, your point is so relevant because I look at I look worldwide at different trends and how we relate with children. And one of the things, two things that comes up from the United States. One, there was a policy, no child left behind. You remember that policy in the
Yep,
schools?
yep.
There was no one extra teacher in the class. It was
And
they pull that to the back, they deal with it, and then they reintegrate them. We can't even pay the teachers that we have to deal with 20 and 30 and 40 children. And then the other thing that I observed, and this supports exactly what you are saying, is that in the homes, the retirement homes, there are certain retirement homes, I know in the States, and I think in England too, it is happening, I'm not too sure where else, where they are mixing a daycare with the older persons. And these people are getting a value and a reason to be and a reason to live, but they are passing on the unconditional love and acceptance to these young ones who will learn the things about empathy and how to deal with older people from a very young age. And these are powerful things. So it supports what you are saying. Because if we can get our retired teachers and our older people who are gifted in some way to come in and work with those children, it will help them so much to be able to be people who can contribute to society and who will be happy because they will find their worth.
And sometimes you're dealing with a child from a troubled home, like I was, but there were beacons in the school and beacons in society that, that touched my life, and I was able to, learn and absorb from them and understand, well, okay, this is going on in the home, but this person is telling me I can be like teachers like Judy Alcantara. I got teased for having my Bajan accent, right? But Judy Alcantara told me, listen, that's beautiful. That's part of who you are. Don't ever lose it. And I always remember that, in my head. Hold on to my Bajan accent. It's part of who I am. Don't bother about them, and
they're not bad children, they're children who have experienced something in their life that is not good. And these are the things that affect them, for them to be, rebellious and to be however they are. No bad, nobody was created
no
bad.
child is born bad. No
child is born bad. And I don't know if you know what our the most important words for us in the NTA is I believe. I believe. Therefore, we need to believe that we can make things happen. And that means that, Nikolai believes, I believe. And you all need to start believing that through your intervention as a diaspora, that you all can help us to ensure that what we are talking about happens, because we must have a transformation for this country first.
But then I need to get my ID card to vote.
Okay, Nikolai,
Nikolai, don't come and tell me I need a passport to get my ID card, because when I was born, all they give me a birth paper, and in order to get the passport, you had to present the birth paper. So don't come and tell me about a passport. Good.
So no.
So Nikolai and Lorraine, here is we see in Trinidad and Tobago that parties talk about party before country, right? And when you are part of a party, you are not allowed to criticize the party to make it better. Now, we know Gary Griffith's personality, and my question is that if you are allowed to criticize the leader, and if you do, if you wouldn't be discredited, dismissed, demonized, and destroyed. Because in other parties, if you say something to make the party better, what they normally do is they try to discredit you, or they dismiss you, or they demonize you, and then they destroy you. So the question is, is there allowed to be constructive criticism in the NTA of the political leader?
So Nikolai, let me take that one if you don't mind, and you could come in and wrap up anything that I leave out. In the NTA, we have a governance team, okay? And that governance team will have about maybe 20, 25 people in it. Then you have a decision-making team, which is a core team that deals with certain aspects and certain things that we have to deal with as we move forward. And so far, I have been criticized, Nikolai has been criticized, Gary has been criticized, and we have all taken the criticism exactly as it was intended to improve our ability to be able to be relatable and to help us to work out any issues that we may have within ourselves before we go out to the public. And I think that Gary has been very open to us talking to him and suggesting to him certain ways of doing things. But he is a personality and I'm a personality. I have some strong points too that I also need to look at. So all of us, I think, have those issues. But I think within the caucus, and Nikolai, you can come in and just clarify if there's anything I have left out.
Sure.
I don't think that we have any problems in dealing with issues.
Sure. And let me put it like this. If there was a problem in terms of us as deputy political leaders or members of the national governance team criticizing Gary Griffith, then this statement that I'm about to make would get me in a lot of hot trouble, a lot of hot water. But the fact is, it is not Gary's party. This is a party involving many individuals from a diverse background. And the fact is that if Gary, for one reason or another, decides to walk away from this tomorrow, the party continues. And so we recognize the value that each and every member of the team brings to the table. And when you have an individual such as Gary Griffith, who I believe is an exceptional leader because he is able to transition from space to space, and I want to make this point. When he was Minister of National Security, we did not hear of certain approaches that we are criticizing him for now. He was able to switch up based on the role in which he occupied. So as Commissioner of Police, he would have had to take on a particular demeanor because he was dealing with crime and violence, something very serious in the country, in Trinidad and Tobago. And he was able to garner the kind of results that we could be proud of. We have since seen a reversal of that. He has now taken on a different disposition, and that is political leader of the NTA. And to be the leader of an organization, you have to be willing to accept criticism, constructive criticism. And because of my conversations with him, it allowed me to come into this role as deputy political leader. I would not have joined the NTA had I not felt comfortable, had I not believed that this was the right vehicle to take this country forward, because it is all encompassing and it starts from the head. And if the leadership has demonstrated that he is able to attract the kind of talent that thus far he has been able to attract, then that says something, and it speaks volumes about what we can expect when it comes to governance under the NTA.
Yeah, I think spot on, because when you can speak and be listened to at the party level, you don't even have to go public with it. It is resolved before there's any fracture, and we don't take things personally. We look at it as how is this affecting the movement? How is this affecting us transforming? Our sole focus is on national transformation of our country. And therefore, once we have understood that and we have articulated that and ventilated whatever little differences come up, then we present a united front. That does not mean to say we jump to the web. No. We resolve issues, we agree to disagree, or we disagree and we change the projection of how we are going. But we do it in a way that it does not create any kind of animosity or any kind of havoc within the party or within the public.
I have a question. The elephant in the room, Tobago. Now, let's say it came down to a coalition. Are you guys prepared to share power if it came down to a coalition type government?
Well, I will say something first, and then Nicola, you can expand on it. We are about the people. So it's what the people want. It's going to happen, right? So as we move forward, we are going to be meeting the people. We're going to be listening to the people. We're going to be talking, of course, our youth and all the other issues that are circulating. But I think it's a little premature for us to decide whether or not we will have a coalition. Whatever at the time is in the best interest of Trinidad and Tobago, I think is what we shall embrace. But I will hand over to Nikoli to see if he has any further
I
explanation.
mean, I don't have much more to say beyond that, Lorraine. Except we are already demonstrating that we are opening to other entities to work with us. We don't believe in having to wait until an election. Let's begin those discussions now. Let's start seeing areas for commonality. Let's see how we can all get to that endpoint together. A lot can change between now and an election, but at this present moment, we are open and willing to engage with any and everyone across Trinidad and Tobago, whether it's a political party, whether it is an independent candidate, because we recognize that this is for all of us. This is just not for the members of the NTA or the Progressive Party to assume office. It's how can we bring together the right minds to move this country forward. So yes, it might be premature for us to be talking about a coalition post-election, but what we can talk about is our efforts currently to unite as much as possible.
So here is a question, right? Some people in Trinidad and Tobago are saying that, the political leader of the NTA has one foot in the TTPS and the other foot in the NTA, right? So it doesn't seem like if he's absolutely sure what he wants. Something called a zero-sum game. You got somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. In that, we had the NTA before, and then after, subsequently, he put his hat back into the ring for the commissioner of police. So, some people are saying, well, does he really want to be the political leader of the NTA, or does he want to be the commissioner of police? It appears that he's not sure exactly what he wants to be.
And what Gary wants is transformation for this country. What he wants is a country that is safe for you and I to open our door and walk down the street. And he was listening to the voice of the people. Yeah. So many people were asking him to go back up for this position as commissioner. And therefore he decided, okay, if I build a strong enough team in the NTA and I go back up as commissioner, there are other people who can take over the role of the leadership of this party. Okay, that is what we need to understand. We are bringing together people who are professionals, who are like-minded, who are committed to this country, and who have the ability to work as a team. So Gary's putting his hat in the ring was really listening to the people and feeling that angst against what he was seeing happening with all the procedures, all the things he had put in place. Everything was just dismantled. And it was, I think for him, it must have been a very sad thing to watch that when you were now making that impact to switch things around. So, yes, some people may say, but like he wants to have his cake and eat it. But it is about listening to what the people wanted. And whatever is to come out will come out. But you can rest assured that the team is strong enough and capable enough to lead the national transformation lines.
Yeah.
Okay. Nikoli?
I mean, Lorraine put it across all the points that I was going to acknowledge. The only thing I would say is that it is crazy, but then these are the times that we're living in. It's crazy, the idea that someone is being criticized for listening to the people. And he is going based on data. He has the evidence. He has the statistics to show the polls that people have asked that he return as commissioner of police. So he's simply acting on the will of the people. Now, whether or not he would assume the office or be allowed, because that's a whole process, that's out of our control. And right now he is focusing on the work, because that is something within his control, the work of the NTA, building a strong team, bringing forth a party that can represent the interests of the people. So when that juncture comes, that bridge comes, I'm sure that he will cross it accordingly. But he is focused. He is focused. He is not confused. He is not unsure. He is a man that, based on my interactions with him and based on how he has interacted with the other members of the national governance team, he is extremely focused and passionate about the work upon which he is entering.
So
So I just want to let you know that we may need to wrap up within about, I say 3 to 5 minutes, because
no problem.
I alluded a little earlier. While some people are sleeping, we are still working, and we think we are being called to another little meeting at 9. So
Okay. No question. No problem. Quickly.
Let's wrap it up now.
Let me ask this question from the chat. It says, question to Mr. Nikoli. If you should become part of the next government, will you serve Trinidad and Tobago, or just your constituency where you won your seat?
Of course, Trinidad and Tobago has always been what I have been championing over the years. But we have to recognize that the people who would be the ones to put me in office would be my constituency. I remember back in 2020, when I ran for San Fernando West, a lot of people were saying, so you decide to run against Paris and that and the other. No, I ran for the constituency in which I live. I ran because I wanted to see my community better. And that is all that it was about. How can I be a voice representing the people of San Fernando West in the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago? So, of course, once I am allowed to run in a particular seat, and if I'm successful there, I see it being one in the same, representing the people of whatever constituency, as well as representing the people of Trinidad and Tobago. It is one in the same, and I will have no difficulty navigating between both spaces.
And here's the last question for you. It says, question to Mr. Edwards. As a young politician, if you get a chance in government, what will you bring forth to the table for the youths in this country?
Well, a voice. Say again?
Let us see roll out, because that could take another half an hour.
I would simply say that young people will finally have a say, have a seat at the table, and have an opportunity to really and truly be represented in the way that they deserve to be represented. For far too long, young people have been seen as second-class citizens. We have engaged as a country in tokenism, and I think now is the time for young people to believe that they can see themselves in the offices that are meant to help develop Trinidad and Tobago.
So let me say thank you so also very kindly for joining us here tonight in the Village with the Dad Triplets. Lauren, we're going to start with you. Any closing words before you go?
Yes, I would just want to say thank you all very much for hosting us. It was very special for both Nikoli and I to be on the program together. And I hope that we were able to give some inclination and some information that is relative to the diaspora for them to understand where we are positioning ourselves and where we would like to go. And I just like to make one simple call, because we like to keep it simple. If you love your country, you must step forward and make a contribution, no matter how small. Just remember, my mom always used to tell me, how do you eat an elephant? A bite at a time. You understand what I'm saying there?
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Nikoli?
Right. The only thing I would say is that if you like what you're hearing this evening from Lorraine and I, and we want to keep the conversation going for sure, then you can visit our social media. You can get in contact with us. NTA is the way at gmail.com. Visit us on Facebook, on Instagram, on all social media platforms, the National Transformation Alliance, because we believe that a new time is coming, and we want as many people to be a part of that historic moment where we finally get the kind of governance that we need. And the only way that can happen is by having all hands on deck. And we really, really believe that this is the time for all persons to get involved. So connect with us, and we would be more than happy to keep the conversation going.
And let your mantra be, I believe.
So we want to say to you, Nikoli and Lorraine, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really appreciate you coming and sharing information with the people so the people can learn a little bit more of what the NTA is all about, especially the people in diaspora, because, you know, we need to know, we need to hear from our politicians from different parties of what they are bringing to the table and what different they are bringing from the two current parties in Trinidad and Tobago. So again, we want to say thank you so much for joining us here in the Village with the Dad Triplets and WZYE 95.9 FM.
You're very welcome. You're very
All right.
welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. So,
thank you, Bo.
I mean, go ahead, Tommy.
No, I know he regretted not coming here in 2019 when we invited him, right?
Oh, okay, okay. But Tommy, he making other sense though.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. He is the package for Prime Minister.
No, he making sense.
You heard?
Making sense.
He makes sense. He's brilliant. Plus, he has an excellent monotone to give speeches.
Yeah, and you know what it is, though, boy? I just say to parties, I don't understand something, you know. Like, look at the PEP, right? We had two young ladies in here from PEP, and they were outstanding. But the only time I just see them is when they do a live. I don't hear them other than that.
I can invite them back again, you know.
No, but Diana, you don't understand the point I'm making.
Yeah.
The only time I just hear them or see them is when they do a live. I don't hear them talking no other place other than in the live. And look at this guy named Nikoli. This is the first time I actually heard from him. And the guy sound like he know what he's talking about. You know, so to me, these are individuals.
I was introduced to him in 2019.
I mean, and to me, right, when you have people like, you have Lorraine and you have Nikoli, right? I think they need to be more. Well, maybe they just announced though. So maybe that's not that. Maybe that's they just actually decided to become deputy political leaders. So they have time in order to put them out there and have discussions.
Well, you know what I see? You know what I see in Nikoli, Anselm? How what's next to Fali? I see Gary to Nikoli in that same.
You know that makes sense, you know, Tommy. Tommy, like you. Wait, Tommy, Tommy, I tell you already. You see, I to tell Nikoli the same thing. You started to make too much sense.
What's that?
Yep.
I'll tell you something. Tell you something, Anselm. Sometimes I stop and I start thinking, and I say, based on my age and my experiences where I've been, that's what I think about. Now, I had other things on my mind that I couldn't talk about because there was just, you know, based on the forum, you know, we have to make room for other people to say what they have to say and ask what they have to ask. But I had so many things in my mind to ask, especially Nikoli. Miss Pouchet,
we'll have him back at another time.
You know, listen to this, and I don't understand why we don't get more of this in Trinidad and Tobago. And we're gonna go for a quick station identification. I wanna and when I come back, I want to show you guys. I want to show you guys a picture, and many of you guys will be shocked. But Tommy, I hear exactly what you are saying. You know, and but you just have been making a lot of sense. I mean, I ain't saying it didn't make sense before, you know. You know,
that's what he's saying.
So the word shouldn't be but, it should be however.
That's what he's saying, Tommy. He's from Chumacat.
Tommy, you know, you're right, you know. You're right. Tommy, you see, look again, you're making sense again.
He from Chumacat, Tommy, mama guy in here.
No,
it's all right.
We just tell you truth to power. We just tell you like it is.
Not a Bajan like me, you know. That they say what she got to say, right? So he mama guy in here.
Let's go for a quick station identification. It's in the Village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after this short message.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
It's in the Village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Now, I want to add something tonight for the first time, right? For all those in the chat who believe that you have other people.
You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM.
Yeah. For those people who have been joining us over and over and over in the chat, if you believe there are other people who you think will like to hear the things that we discuss here in the village with the Dad Triplet, we like you to on when we come on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays, to share our Facebook page and our YouTube page, WZYE TV and WZYE FM on Facebook. Share to them, our Facebook page and our YouTube page, because you think people who, want things that can benefit the country for the betterment of the country. Doesn't matter what party you're from. And then, we don't talk about party you're from. We all from different party. Diana just show her allegiance tonight, so she can't talk about nothing else after that.
I say if I had to vote, if I could have vote
you
on
expose
the
yourself.
hello.
You expose yourself. Sorry, you can't take it back.
Hello, and what's wrong with that? Say as a woman and I had to vote, I would vote for Gary on the safety issue.
But I just saying you expose yourself, you put out now.
So what's wrong with saying I will vote for Gary on the safety issue?
Nothing wrong
as
with
a
that.
woman?
But you
as
pick
a woman.
Now.
But wait now, I voted on the safety issue. Now let me hear on economy and jobs and stuff. You're not you have selective hearing, Take that Balize wax out your ears now.
So wait
take
now.
the Balize wax out your ears now.
If they're for women and children and they are against something else that you are against, you're not for them, or you're half and half?
I say on the safety issue of women and the safety of the country, I would cast my vote for the NTA. On highlighting issues and in your face.
So you pick a side.
Let me finish now. On highlighting issues and bringing the poverty and showing that it does exist in Trinidad and Tobago, I would vote for PDP. On highlighting the nonsense that's going on in the country, I would vote for PEP. For PEP. You want me to continue?
I gotta give you a Waffle House franchise tonight. I gotta give you a Waffle House franchise. Good night tonight. I'm sorry. I had to give you a Waffle House franchise tonight.
But wait, were you vexed because I said I would cast my vote for PNM? Nope. Because they're not giving me back my ID card and they had too much of corruption and going on with them.
You can't go in the boat and vote for two people.
I say I would vote for the NTA based on Gary Griffith's history of safety of the women in the country. So I would vote for that.
You're trying to hedge your bets. You see?
I ain't hedging nothing.
You pick a side.
I ain't hedging nothing.
You're trying about.
I'm highlighting the pros and the cons. The cons, the pros, and the cons. Hey.
Tommy.
Tommy,
yes,
stay out of this. Stay out of this, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy.
You'll get hanged.
Pardon me?
Don't you have to pick a side, Tommy? You can't pick half a side. You can't be half pregnant.
Depends on what day of the week, I guess it is for Diana.
Stay out of this here, Tommy, you will get her. Hello.
You want to be half pregnant, Diana Benson?
I was never pregnant, so I don't know how it is to be half pregnant.
Well, you never have.
So let me go there.
That's why you can't be half pregnant.
I said based on safety of the women in the safety of the country and his background, I would cast my vote for him. What's wrong with that?
But I'm gonna tell you something. Nikoli is a great salesman for Gary Griffith.
Yeah. Correct.
He what he brought to mind is a book I read by a guy named Lazarus Long, which says specialization is for insects. He's saying that Gary can wear any hat that he's given, and the truth be told, that's what Lazarus Long says in the book. He says specialization is for insects. You have to be human, you have to be able to give instruction, take instruction, plan an invasion, comfort the dying, set a bone.
And Eugene Julian, go ahead, Tommy. Let me deal with Levi Jean.
Let me say welcome.
You know why I can't vote in Trinidad and Tobago? Because of all your dotish PNM empower policy. Don't get me started, Levi Jean. Huh? All
Eugene
right.
Julian say, Diana, you can't vote.
Because all your dotish policy have people like me and other people in the diaspora can't vote. Yeah, the dotish PNM policy. Huh? That you need a passport to get an ID card. But when I'm born, you gave me a birth paper, and the birth paper is presented in order to get the ID, the passport. So which one have more power? Only backward in Trinidad, man. Backward.
Eugene, you made a correct statement.
Only backward.
The statement is factually correct. You
Well,
can't
it's
vote
factually correct. That's all right. It will change.
What is the statement?
It will change. It will change. It will change.
Is the statement false?
It will change.
But you can't vote right now, right?
But that's all right. And like I said, I'm going and line up. I'm going and line up with Lana. Just line up to vote because I was born. And with my birth paper. And let them tell me no, I can't vote.
But why are you upset with Eugene Julian when he's speaking facts?
Well, he coming in here with the PNM kakada. But don't worry, it will get changed.
You know, and that is
well, he's your buddy.
Anybody disagree with you, there's a PNM.
No, that's your buddy. That's your
you don't put him in UNC. You don't put him in UNC. You always put him in PNM.
I just jump on Capiza and them too.
No,
that is your buddy.
You always put him in PNM.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Guyana, I moved back home in 2006.
Say that again, Tommy.
When I moved back home in 2006, I went to get my ID card. They came and they interviewed the neighbor. I don't know what, well, I have an idea what the neighbor told them. So they call me in and tell me they're gonna give me my ID card, but my ID card doesn't allow me to vote. So 2006, 2007 election comes, I cannot vote because my ID card doesn't allow me to vote. However, I stayed home. I was home for a while. In 2010, I was allowed to vote, and from then on, I can vote because.
And that and Tommy, can I finish now?
Yeah.
And if you all don't see that as a downright disenfranchisement, you have the ID card, but you can't vote. Why? Because you live outside. What kind of stupidness is that?
What happened is that the neighbor told them, yes, he's living there, but he also lives abroad. But I had moved back home. I moved back home and I decided, well, look, I'm living. And
you should not have to move back home. You see what I mean? They give you you see how backward and archaic and Jurassic they are? They give you the ID card, but you can't vote. I have an ID card for Barbados and I could vote. And I ain't born there. You see how Jurassic Trinidad is?
Barbados is not Trinidad?
The Jurassic in Trinidad.
Wait, when you have a green card in this country,
all the Jurassic, archaic, vintage, prehistoric, everything.
When you have a green card in this
country,
I
don't even want to know.
Tommy?
No, you can't.
No, not with a green card yet. You need citizenship.
No, you can vote in mayoral elections.
No, but if you're an American citizen, you were born in the United States. It don't matter where you go, you can vote.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you very much.
But I'm just saying.
Thank you.
If you have a permanent resident, a green card, you can't vote.
But I wasn't a permanent resident. I was a citizen who came back home, but they had to prove that I truly came back home. They had to prove that I truly came back home before they allowed me to vote. So I couldn't be registered in 2007. As a matter of fact, in 2007 election, I went to the poll, but they wouldn't allow me to vote. So I said, okay, no problem.
Talk, Tom. You see, now you understand why. Now you understand why I raised the issue because I know about that. You have an ID card and you can't vote. But I bet you them Venezuelans could vote, though. I bet you them Venezuelans voting.
2010 I voted. 2015 I've 15 years. 10 and 15 I voted.
Eugene is absolutely correct.
That is not the PNM fault.
Is that the PNM fault why you can't vote?
Who fault it is?
Those people in the what they call them?
EBC?
BBC.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they make they seem to make up rules as they go along.
So
but
who
I don't
who
want to
them
blame
more
the
le-
PNM for everything.
who them
Everything
more who
still-
them more who them more allegiance to? Yes, I am a Bajan, a Trini Bajan, Rennie, and don't forget
Yeah.
it. Don't you forget
Diana,
it.
what is
Yeah.
the difference of us dual citizens in this country and does give you a hard time in Trinidad? What is the difference?
I don't know. Because the Jurassic, archaic, corrupt, vintage, stupidity. That's what I call them.
But I've always kept a Trinidad passport, so and kept it valid, so that I when I go to Trinidad, I use my Trinidad passport. I don't have a problem.
Born, you didn't have no passport. They give you a birth paper. Okay, nobody gave me a passport when I was born. They provided a birth paper. Now, how you come telling me now to prove I'm a citizen by having a Trinidad passport? It's stupid and archaic. It's stupid, backward, Jurassic, archaic. It makes no sense. If you gave me a birth paper when I was born, I didn't have a passport. A Trinidad passport. Hello. Huh? And I had an ID card for Trinidad. I worked in Trinidad. I have my registration number. And you're telling me I have to have a Trinidad passport in order to get an ID card?
But that's the rule, that's the law. You want to break the law?
It's stupid and it's archaic. It's stupid and it's archaic. You ain't changing no law for me. It's stupid. Once you have a birth paper belonging to Trinidad and Tobago, you should be treated accordingly and receive the amenities and services that a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago is afforded. That's what I say. Yeah.
Let me say this. When you vote for Gary, if Gary and them happen to get 2 seats or 3 seats and they form a coalition, you definitely go get your ID now.
They need to change that law.
I thought they was gonna line up with PDP so get like an ID.
It's stupid. It's stupid. No, the next time they're giving the Venezuelan by the wall in Port of Spain, I'm gonna line up with them.
But Eileen says
I'm gonna habla some Espanol.
You know, you might get one quicker, you know. I feel so. You'll get one quicker. Eileen says the diaspora can determine who wins. The PNM UNC don't want that at all.
Thank you. Hailey, you're making a whole heap of sense.
That's so true.
That's why they want to keep us out. You're making a whole heap of sense. Because we want better for you all. We want better for the country. I don't want to hear Lana can't buy the book list for her children to Keisha. I don't want to hear that. I want Keisha to be able to buy her book list for her children, fill them, and her grandchildren. I want Keisha and Lana to get jobs. I want Rose to get a job, the women to be safe, the children to be going to school safe, happy, have all the supplies. That's what I want. The women and the children to be happy, and everything will be copacetic. When you have the women stressing, the men are victims of crime, and then one set of men don't want a certain government, and another set. It's not going to work. The women will decide the election. The women and the youth, they're going to decide the election because the women feeling the brunt more than the men. The women and the young people are going to decide who is the next prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
We in the diaspora, when we look to go back home, we present opportunities for our fellow citizens because 9 out of 10 of us, or many of us, not all, but many of us go with ideas to make business, to create employment and help out the people in the country, and we do. Yes. I know about me. I know what I've done and what I'm capable of doing.
Yep. So Albert Montano, all the way up in Canada, in Wizahawken. That's where you from? Wizahawken?
Yeah. Mississauga.
Oh, Mississauga.
Isn't that where he's from?
Yeah, from Wizahawken or Mississauga. Yeah, from Mississauga. As a statement, Balize Ansem, get Dr. Keith Rowley and Fitzgerald on this program. I don't know, my first name changed to Balize all on a son.
One thing for sure, Albert, you can be reassured, and that's the last thing that will ever happen. They're coming on this program if it's the last program on Earth.
Yeah, them fellas
ain't the women stressing. Oh, look like he just She taking blood pressure pills. Huh? A black man running a country got the black women and them stressing out. What kind of it ain't making no sense. It's making no sense.
You just don't like PNM, that is it.
Nah, it making no sense. I don't like some of the policies. And they need to look, or they need to shape up or ship out. People tired and fed up.
If you had a choice, it's PDP or NTA, right?
I want nothing to do with who is incumbent now because of what it do to the people. What it do to the people. I live it firsthand. Huh? I live it firsthand. Who mind a whole heap of people and see about a whole. I don't even want to brag and boast. The people need to get back on their feet by now. It's still going on. People can't get it by. I knew this was going to happen. I sang this song a long time ago. How are they going to fill the book list? People stressing out. The children, they're acting up. And what the infrastructure, the country falling to pieces, sinkhole opening up here, a tree fall down, traffic jam for so. Nobody ain't know to go and direct traffic to let the traffic flow. I said, wait now. What is really going on in Trinidad and Tobago?
But moreover, do they really need to change those books every year?
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Let me talk about that. But let me say welcome to Clarence Bayer. Clarence Bayer. He says, yes, he's right for PM and will do a great job. So, Clarence, welcome to In the Village with the Dad Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Let me read a little more. Lana says, no political parties own Trinidad and Tobago. All political parties welcome to challenge. Yes.
The women don't feel safe.
I say, woo, Diana, you finally get the pep in your step. So, Diana, as well. Wait now, Ulrich Rose, good night.
Ulrich Vex, Ulrich. You have these services that Ulrich offering to put up tonight, right?
Yeah. I get that. Albert Montano says, answer Stay of Diana, please. What's Stay of Diana? I don't know why Ulrich say, am I not on Diana? If she can't vote, she can't vote.
That's all right. That
go
change. And it's your party that have me can't vote.
My party.
How many times under your party I went to try to get my ID card? And I went truthfully, the party you support. I went truthfully. I ain't lied to them. I said, listen here, I don't live here, I come down here to see about this thing so I can vote next election. I can open my business. And you still ain't give me anything. Oh, you want this and you want that. There's a whole set of drama and bacchanal. I'm tired of your red people. They need to go. They need to go relax somewhere. I'm tired of them.
Dana Benskin, when I look in my wallet and I go to the gas station to put $70 in my tank and I get them a credit card, I haven't seen the credit card have a balise on it, or it says PNM number 8124622.
The party you support.
I never seen it. My party.
The party you support. I'm a supporter of the PNM. Yeah.
When I go to Trader Joe's, I'm buying groceries and I get the personal debit card and I put in the number. I don't put in PNM,
They persecute the national movement. And look, they come today now and hand out houses, dangling trinkets in front of people. Like people chuppity. Like people,
house, you know what you gonna say? When they give out the house, they complaining.
While people are entitled to home ownership, I don't like the strategy in which they're going about it. They have houses surrounded with bush, catching bush.
Yeah. Only 60 houses they had to give out. I thought they would have given out 600.
Talk, Tom. You pick my brain. 60 houses. That's 60 of their staunch supporters. Anybody in the UNC get one? Anybody who's a PEP supporter get one? Anybody who wants to?
Right. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
I'm asking a question.
We don't know.
You think they went to and pick out 60 and tell them all you bring?
I'm asking a question.
I'm asking a question to you too.
Guess what?
I'm asking a question.
it doesn't matter because heaven knows, and nobody knows who those people really would vote for, even though
Mm,
you would want to
even though
think,
they get a house.
yeah,
But wait there.
you could take
But
the
wait.
gifts and do what you want.
But wait there. Can I say? Let me see if I can make sense here. So you give 60 houses today. In order to qualify for them houses, you had to be working, right?
Yes.
Okay, I done talk.
What does that mean?
So
I understand.
who are the most gainfully employed people now?
I guess professionals. I don't know.
Uh,
Maybe
but, but,
teachers. Maybe
but-
teach.
and
I don't know.
who the teachers they work for?
So all of a sudden,
For the people, because the government is of the people and by the people. Is a democratic
Well,
society.
so we can
who is the paymaster then? Let me make the question direct.
It's not. It's definitely, even though the PNM are in power, the PNM is not the employers. The employers is the state.
And who is the paymaster? Who signed the check? I don't talk. End of the story. All right, can we
women who
continue?
signed the check. Whoever is
Diana,
the boss.
I know where you're going with that, Diana. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, it don't matter who is in government. The people, a teacher will maintain their job.
And it's not only teachers, it's who are the most gainfully employed people are the public servants, the public workers.
Yeah, those who work
At
for the state.
2013 salaries. And
You see,
I ain't see them marching and the nurses training nurses ain't getting paid. But they want to
who
spend 7.5 million on a independence parade. Yeah,
who the who the who the elected officials work for?
I ain't talking about who they work for. I'm talking about who
Okay,
the pay come from. Who is the employer?
the state is there. The state employ the public servant.
Mm.
But at the same time, this when it comes to the state, is whoever is elected doing the state's work. They work for the
Uh,
people. It's a democratic. It's not. It's not.
them houses ain't distributed evenly. I guarantee you that. Not. Them houses ain't distributed evenly. And like you
I
say,
would.
only
I would
60
agree.
people.
I would
Only
agree with
60
you that.
people.
I would
Oh,
agree with you that. I would agree with you that there wouldn't be equidistribution.
and ask me how long them people waiting for that house.
Some 2 weeks, some 2 years, some 20 years.
All right then.
No, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. All kind of different stories, but at the end of the day, I'm glad for them. At
Yep,
least they have.
I'm glad for them. While I believe everyone should have a path to home ownership, have their own home and all that. But they wait,
Yeah.
that's a trinket. That's a trinket that's being waved. Y'all be very careful. They're looking for your golden ballot. Your golden ballot is what they're after. And your
Ulrich,
golden ballot will determine the future of the country, and not your
Diana,
constituency.
Ulrich,
When you go behind that voting booth, nobody knows who you vote for unless you tell them.
correct is right.
Your golden ballot. What Ulrich say now?
Ulrich vex back.
Living in a fantasy.
Oh God, Ulrich vex. Oh, look at coming from Ulrich. Ulrich speed typing tonight, boy. Ulrich
Let me
speed
read.
typing. Clarence
Let me
says,
just
what I'm
read.
saying, I'm happy to be a registered member of this party. It's time for the country to have a government that cares for the country and citizens. Clarence
That's
back.
right.
Ulrich, so you what? No, Ulrich can go on NTA. Yeah. I think you
Ulrich say if they go into the damn Gary, he go vote for PNM spitefully. And you see? And that's
Ulrich
what's gonna
says
happen.
you can't bring out the right mind when you're starting with the wrong one. Ulrich boy,
Oh
Ulrich,
Lord.
Ulrich boy, Ulrich what happened? Ulrich vex tonight, boy.
A lot of people, a lot of people, a lot of people rubbed wrong by Gary's brash attitude
Yes. Yeah. I
and
told
crass
them.
way.
Yeah,
But
that's why I asked them.
at the end of the day, he obviously means well.
Uh,
Because when you think about him pulling in somebody like Nikolai, I could see him putting Nikolai in the same position that Watson put Farley in.
You know something. When we look at it, we look at it. Now
My
Nikolai
phone
is
is dying.
the deputy political leader, right? I think it either maybe, and I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. Nikolai don't look like a guy that you could control, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Not
You're right.
control, but maybe
Manipulate.
he's trainable. He's trainable. He's relatable. He is,
No, no, no. Tommy's right.
engaging.
No, Dana. Tommy's right. He doesn't look like a guy that you could
Can
manipulate.
control. I thought you said he looked like a guy that you can control. No, yeah, no, you
No, no,
cannot.
no, 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 no. Totally the opposite. And I think, you have to give Gary a little credit.
Of course, and he knows Nikolai is more politically astute than he is.
You know what I mean? You have to give him a little credit. You may not like him. I mean,
The same thing Watson Duke did with Farley.
That's how I see it. I see Gary to Nikolai as Duke to Farley.
Yep. And Nikolai would be appealing to the young men, young women, because he's a handsome fella, and he's relatable.
And that's why I told Hailey,
knowledgeable.
Hailey to go tell his political leader, right, that
he need to
put them two young ladies so they could start to talk for pep too. I tell Hailey that, Hailey must do have a political leader number. Hailey, I will send it to you privately.
Ulrich says, no, Tommy, he don't mean well.
He said, no credit for Gary, none. But Ulrich, Gary, depending on your one vote here.
No, but Ulrich will come around. He'll realize that.
No,
it's not the messenger, it's the message.
He from Chumakaki ain't coming around.
Wait. What? No. What? You going there?
Because all they keep voting the same way up in their hole all the time. So let me see what happened this time around.
Nah, she didn't go there, man. You see, Tommy? You see where she gone?
All they keep voting the same way. All they keep voting the same way. All these years.
When I go down on Nelson Street, she just get vexed.
Nelson Street is a street in Barbados. I am not from Nelson Street. I'm from. I
never said it from Nelson. You see, don't put words in my mouth, please.
You see what Capiza said? You see what Capiza said that Anselm? You see all you see a man, all you is see a man, all you seeing all kind of thing. Yet all you wine Rowley in a basement and drive him around all over in limo.
Tell him.
Who drive around in limo? Me I drive nobody no limo. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
From Capiza, you better take back that phone wherever you got that phone from.
Oh gosh.
to give back that phone. But hey, listener, I received this picture today. I don't know if it's true or if they photoshopped it, yeah? But this is what I took it just how it was sent to me. This is a picture of Watson Duke yesterday speaking,
Lord.
speaking to the people at the Brooklyn Museum. Right?
Oh Lord.
But listen, you see how to take this thing with a grain of salt, you know, because people can take this picture. If the thing starts 6 o'clock, they take it at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. But he's up there speaking. You know what I mean? And they take it with just 3 people.
The place full, it's packed.
Yeah.
People.
Shanice, oh God, Shanice wicked. You know? And what?
Yeah. And you see the angle from which you take it. Oh Lord.
Get the big onion. You just pay 40K for plane ticket for Watson to campaign for the PDP.
The answer you gonna stop again. Can't hear you.
No, yeah. I move away from the mic. He says, dear
Can I?
Tobagonians, you all just paid 40K for a plane ticket, 40K for a plane ticket, and people wicked it over 40,000 for a plane ticket is 40,000.
No way.
Then you should know that I bet you that one of your PNM people trying to start back and all that.
Even if it's 1,000 US,
Yeah, it's not
that will
40,000.
only be at most
Right?
7,000 TT.
But it's just funny. You all just paid 40K for a plane ticket for what's new the campaign for the PDP to an empty venue in New York. And they take the picture, the ticket kind of sideways. The people good enough.
Are you seeing? Can you clearly see Watson Duke up there?
Yeah. He's up there. When you bring it in, he's up there.
You zoom
and he
in.
actually did go on radio indicating that he was going there.
That is them PNM, the PM. They're good for making bacchanal and confusion.
It's not UNC, right? I know UNC.
Bacchanal and confusion. That be them PNM people.
That is only PNM people. You see?
Because he defeated PNM in Tobago.
Okay.
I'll be some PNM. And that person that posted go and look on his page and see who he support. I bet he support PNM.
Who's that? Who support PNM?
The person that sent that to you.
Oh no, man, it could be a supporter of the PDP. You don't know. Now, I want you guys to look at this, right? And just give me something that you think. Just think about it. This is a protest in Woodbrook. Look at this. Watch this protest. I want you guys to realize that. Destiny parking and Woodbrook. The noise.
I agree with them, frankly. Since the last time I was saying that last show I was saying that what they're doing is right. They gotta stand up.
So where is this? RP Garland?
Woodbrook. This is Woodbrook.
Yes, man. If you agree, blow your horn. Blow your horn.
Break it down. 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 Break it down.
Let's put that hand. Break it down.
Break it down.
Now here's my take. Here's my take on that. Right? Here's my take on that, right?
Let's hear.
Yes, you see, people just only come and protest when things in their neighborhood. Certain people in Trinidad and Tobago. It isn't affecting me. Nah, hands off, right? But now this stuff come to their neighborhood. You see how much of them outside?
Yep.
Are they outside for any other activities in Trinidad and Tobago?
I don't know. Right? I don't see them in the boat.
Oh, okay. That's the first thing that I said. I said, but wait now, boy. I never see this type of crowd before, you know. I mean, let me just say, I have never seen it. It could be that it was there, but I just never saw it. I never seen no crowd like that.
I could be just saying no tires burning.
Yeah, no tires burning. Okay. I mean, I don't get it.
But you see, the area is Arapita Avenue.
Is Arapita Avenue?
That's the 1%.
What that means? Or, you know something? I want to show you guys something, right? No, Diana Benskin, I'm deviating here. Diana Benskin, what is
Yeah.
Dr. Bishnu Raghunath? He's a political scientist, right?
Analyst?
Yeah, I
Political
think so.
analyst / scientist.
Mhm.
Dr. Winford
Yeah.
James is a political analyst / political scientist, right?
I don't know.
Right.
Dr.
Something like
Shane
that.
Mohammed is a political analyst / scientist, right?
Scientist, I think.
Right. So I was looking at our program last night, and this is what I saw. And I said, but wait now, boy, something going wrong in Trinidad.
Hmm.
I wait, no. Let me get this other one here. No, not this one. I say something going wrong in Trinidad. Something wrong. Something wrong. Something wrong. Something wrong.
Something wrong.
Something wrong. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. Seriously. I want you guys to look at this. Look
Okay.
at this, right?
You looking?
These two individuals here. One name is Mr. Where you from, boy? Mr. Aruka. And the other one is Julia Davy. Or let's see what the sign says there. You see what them says?
Political analyst.
Political analyst. And I asked him myself, I said, but wait now, boy. Julia Davy and Mr. Aruka is political analyst, eh? Right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
I said, nah, boy. I said, let me go to Google and try to figure this thing out. So I went to Google. I said, political analyst, also known as political scientist, studies how political systems originate, develop, and operate. They research and analyze government, political ideas, policies, political trend, and foreign relations. Where the hell them two? No, let me keep it. Let me keep it within a
Hey,
reason.
they're homegrown. They're homegrown.
Where these two political tests come from, and to call them political analysts. Them read them for real?
Political arsonists.
No,
All of
you know,
that.
if anything goes in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, boy.
No, seriously, Tommy, come on, man, Tommy.
What station they working on?
No, this is a Facebook thing. And let me tell you, I call the program, right? Because I call them to find out how them become political analysts.
Oh,
right?
and they shut you down.
No. She said, is this what she to hang up on she? I hang up. Me wasting no time. And them, you see them, why the country in the condition that it is? Them so, political analysts. Them could hold Dr. Winsford James' shoes. Them could
No,
hold
but who
Dr.
give it?
Shane Mohammed shoes.
But who giving them airtime?
No, they on a Facebook. I think it's a TV, NBC, NTT something.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what audience they have?
No, they have an audience.
Oh my goodness.
They have an audience. But them is political analysts. And that is the problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Political analysts. Look. Them is political analysts, you know.
And they have some statistics.
Statistics.
No. Seriously, that's why the country in the condition that it is. We could just do anything that we please. Anything. Call ourselves whatever we want.
And it's all good.
And they could just go there and talk whatever they want and this, that, and the other. And you know, and the sad thing, boy, is they're going after Dr. David Mohammed.
A learned man.
Listen, Tommy, you continue to make too much sense, you know. I tell you.
Oh,
Tommy's not a PNM.
Oh, Lord.
How PNM come in that? Tommy, you imagine that, Tommy? Them criticizing David Mohammed because David Mohammed talk about what the government did to the scrap iron people. And they talk about, yeah, David Mohammed, the UNC game piece of land up in Prisgaland. Yeah, the UNC give it to him. Because the PNM, they want to give it to him.
True.
Why only talk about that? Eh?
Because, you know, the thing is, the PNM has persecuted black people more than any other particular
Tommy,
political
you're
organization.
making too much sense.
Careful, you know, Anselm. I'm going to mute your mic, you know. Careful,
Tommy,
you
you
know.
gotta mute your mic.
Right.
You're making too much sense.
I'd take it and cool it, whatever you choose to do.
Yeah, because you can't be coming and making too much sense.
You mute your mic. You mute your mic.
Yeah, but listen, if you hear them, yeah, David Mohammed, he's a UNC or he's a PDP. Look, we have picture with him with Watson Duke, and he have picture with him, and by mistake they put a picture with him with Penelope Beckers.
Oh God!
I guess you know the thing is the thing is that to be a patriot is a sin. Is anything else but.
Look at David Mohammed, Dr. David Mohammed, that man fighting in the vineyards for black people. Fighting.
And it's all patriotic.
Yes. And these two novice, you know.
Don't even call them novice.
What is? What lower than novice?
Huh?
No, you're not lower than novice.
You're still novice, you're still living in some
impressionist.
No, that's a nice word.
Imposters.
Huh? Tell me, I like that one better. One set of imposters. That's what they are. Right?
Yeah.
All they just do is talk. Remember the song we just play now? By Aaron
Right.
Donovan? It's only talk.
Right? Talk.
Talk. Dr. David Mohammed, you want to lamblast that fella, boy?
Yeah. Eh? Man that doing good.
A man that doing good work, boy. And, you know, when I see that and I hear them, I say, nah, them calling themselves political analysts.
Yeah, boy, and them those. But the thing is that these imposters get too much. These imposters get too much followers and airtime. That's the problem.
Somebody want to know why David didn't fight for Indians?
Tommy, I know. Tommy, that's real, boy. That's real.
Answer. Somebody wants to know why David didn't fight for Indians too.
Yeah.
David will fight for anybody.
That's right.
Because he would fight. I know him personally. He would fight for anybody, Indian, African, anybody, as long as it's the right thing to do. But like he would say, charity begins at home.
I'll say this again. I tired tell people this. I tired say this to people. I am pro track and field. Doesn't mean to say that I'm anti-basketball, I'm anti-football, I'm anti-baseball. I am pro track and field. Dr. David Mohammed is pro-black people. Doesn't mean to say he's anti-Indian,
right?
Anti-anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And I could say that.
Pro-self doesn't mean anti-anything.
Doesn't mean anti-anything. Some people want to put you in that box.
Yeah.
They want to put you, but you can't put, you could of course put the person in that box. But listen, when Satmaraj,
because Satmaraj being pro Hindus don't mean he's anti anything else.
I had no problem with that. I had no problem with that.
Except if he says that. Except if he says, because I understood he said if his daughter marries an African, he'll disown her. In that instance, well, he's anti, but.
Yeah. And it is good to be pro, to uplift a race that is not doing well according to the Prime Minister. To uplift them. It is good. It is good to have things to encourage them to stay away from crime and criminal activity and other stuff. And I'm sure Indians wanted to go in there to Dr. Mohammed of the same faith, he would embrace them. because it is. I understand from hearing and reading. It is of the Muslim faith to embrace everyone.
All embracing.
No,
That's what they say. They
no,
all embrace.
but the thing is this: you cannot love another if you don't love yourself.
That's right.
Correct is right.
That's to love
Charity begins at
yourself.
home.
Correct is right.
That's to love
Listen, man,
yourself.
I just always say, me. I don't know, Albert. I don't. I feel. I feel. I feel with a
Answer,
girl,
put
but
up the service. Nah. Yeah. And putting up the thing that your boy doing.
yeah, you know. Wait, you send it to me on Diana. Which one? Send it to
And
me again now. Send it to me right
messenger
now.
on WhatsApp.
Oh, Messenger. Oh, I was looking for it in WhatsApp.
Yeah, check
Yeah,
the
Albert. Look
messenger.
what Albert said. Let me check
You say your
Messenger.
track and
Albert.
field, so stay on your track.
Yeah, Albert. Albert, what's wrong with you?
You want you to stay in your lane, Anselm.
What
You
lane?
find it yet?
Hold on. Look at here. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Here it is. All right. Let me this. So, all right. Let me get this.
But you announce it here, not me.
Yeah.
I
Announce
had
it.
nothing to do with that.
We have a special announcement to make tonight. Yeah, but Albert talking about that I should stay in my lane with track and field. Albert, look, don't let me send somebody up in Mississippi up there for you know.
You ain't gonna find him there.
I know who he is.
Oh,
He in
not
Mississippi.
Mississippi or Mississippi.
Not Mississippi, Mississauga, you're not.
Mrs. What?
Mississauga.
Mrs. Sagwa.
Yeah, Albert, you keep talking. Keep talking.
You find the services yet?
Yeah. I'm finding it now.
Very good.
So, all right. So, in the meanwhile, let me do this. Hold on, Okay, what the hell I do with this? All right, I have to see if I can hear that. Let me see if I got a video here. Hold on, I have another video I want to play here.
Oh, you ain't got it?
Yeah, I got it. I want you guys to listen to this. Hey, Judy, welcome. Judy, but wait now.
Judy de Sant Rich.
Yeah, Judy Reach. Hey, listen, but I
We missed you,
ain't see
Judy.
Joan tonight. I ain't see Joan tonight. Like she's still walking on, and I ain't seen Nadia walk tonight either. What happened? They slacking on her.
Oh Lord, there you go.
No.
Just drink water, stay on your track, and mind your business.
Oh yeah. I gotta do like what Albert said.
Follow instructions.
Mind my own business.
Yeah. Put up the thing that the boy that the new service you're offering.
I point up here now. No, I point it up here now. So folks, well, you know, in the village, we have been promoting illegal certain services, and well, them two political analysts, right? Anything goes in Trinidad and Tobago, you know. Anything goes, man.
So everybody trying their hand at a thing.
Yeah. Dr. Mohammed and Dr. Sheen and Dr. Winsford James and all of them. So, folks, Orica's going into a new business, and Orica is very fortunate that he's getting free advertising here on WZYE 95.9 FM. It says Oric service provides the following. If you need a listening ear, it's 5,000. If you need horning counseling, it's 7,000. And if if you have to cry, it's 15,000. So don't forget the number is 1-800-ALRIC. So Ulrich have again gone into new services again. He's expanding his conglomerate. He's a multinational corporation now. He's expanding quickly. So Ulrich, we gotta charge you a fee for them, eh? We only take a fee on the 15,000. Right? We ain't we ain't So for Ulrich expanded is multinational enterprise, and he's now gone global, and he's advertising his service, So if all you need to reach Ulrich, just call 1-800-ALRIC.
And what you doing? A listening ear is $5,000.
Yeah. Horn counseling is
Horn
7,000.
counseling is 7,000.
Yeah.
And if you have to cry, it's 15,000.
Yeah, 15,000. So
Oh God!
yeah. And Ulrich says his services are very cheap.
He said, please let the people know he's a professional at his job.
and he says, if the person say you hear it on WZYE 95.9 FM, you got 20% discount. I saw it on WZYE 95.9 FM, or I heard it on WZYE, he will give you a 20% discount. So folks, Ulrich in serious business.
Darren.
He said it's too cheap though. Cheap thing no good and good thing not cheap.
Tommy correct is right, man.
If you get $7,000 for the day, you're good.
But I want you guys to listen to this before we go. This is the motivation for the night. Listen to this.
Dies a billionaire with a fortune of $7 billion at the age of 56 from pancreatic cancer, and here's some of his last words. At this moment, lying on the bed, sick and remembering all my life, I realize that all my recognition and wealth that I have is meaningless in the face of imminent death. You can hire someone to drive a car for you, make money for you, but you cannot rent someone to carry the disease for you. As we get older we are smarter, and we slowly realize that the watch is worth $30 or $300, both of which show the same time. Whether we drive a car worth $150,000, or a car worth $2,000, the road and distance are the same, we reach the same destination. If we drink a bottle worth $300 or wine worth $10, we're drunk. 5 undeniable facts. Do not educate your children to be rich. Educate them to be happy. So when they grow up they will know the value of things, not the price. Eat your food as medicine, otherwise you will need to eat your medicine as food. Whoever loves you will never leave you, even if he or she has 100 reasons to give up. They will always find one reason to hold on. There is a big difference between being human and human being. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together.
Good.
Yeah, that's the little motivation for the day. Yeah. Yeah. Or what I at least say Ulrich does Ulrich that is good fee partner. Ulrich say our own is different. Oh God. Ulrich is a whole purpose partner.
Oh God.
Ulrich is all things he doing, you know.
Yeah, no, listen, when you grow up in Laventil.
The recycled doors.
Yeah. Rose, I want to say thank you so much, Rose. Rose, you're one of the few people that noticed my shirt. And Rose says, Ansem, that jersey looking good on you. You're looking really nice tonight. Rose, thank you so very kindly. I appreciate the sentiments. You are
all right, Tommy. Tommy, we look like we just come out with this Salvation Army bin. So that's
no, but listen, Rennie says, Rose, you're going back romancing walls and New Jersey. Every once in Rennie, how you get in between Rose and I don't understand that, I just stay out of you and Diana thing, I don't get in between all your figure and all your leather belt and all them kind of things.
Roses are romantic, that's all.
Yeah, that's it, man. I mean, what happened? No, Rose have good eyes. Rose, thank you very much.
Rose is a regular Trini Marco, like the Marco.
Nah, Rose is a Rose Banana lady. Rose is a sweet girl.
What was the topic? Judy, the topic tonight was Diana finally go on NTA. Right?
And we had two NTA representatives.
Right.
Nikoli and
Wait, Tommy.
Leave it out of your mouth here.
Tommy, go ahead.
Rose says she's a romantic woman, Tommy.
That's nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
Well, you have to pick back up that date by the lighthouse soon.
Well, not me. I ain't going by lighthouse. I'm afraid I get mugged.
Albert, you better stay in your lane, eh? Stay in your lane, eh? Rose don't mama guy answer them. So Rose mama guy me now. Hey, Albert. Better stay in your lane.
Rennie, you have comfort service. You could get a free sample. I don't want nothing free from you, Rennie. I good.
You know, long when you try to get Diana something free.
I don't want nothing free from you.
When he had a child, she afraid boy.
You want to put me in a leather suit and beat me with a whip and all that. Not me and you. I staying far from you.
He never said put you in a and beat you with no whip. He never said that. He said put you in a leather soup and give you a whip.
He said put me in a leather suit and beat me with the whip. That's what he said.
No, he didn't say that.
Them glasses you have one help in it.
I know joke, you know. What? Ulrich is not MTA, is NTA.
Oh, Lord.
MTA is the Metropolitan Transit Authority.
Who's putting their closing comments in?
Judy say NTA is not a grassroots party. Also, I don't understand that.
It's almost top of the hour. Putting in the closing comment.
Yeah, Albert Montano. Albert say I'm a Balize supporter, well trained. Albert, there's no other Balize supporter like me that's be constructively criticizing the party they support. None. I don't even think there's a UNC person like me either. Well, we might have an NTA person now since Diana has shown her hand.
I say I will vote for him because of the safety issue. You have a problem with that? That's you. As a female.
All I'm saying is show your hand.
As a female, I ain't safe underneath the PNM now. So hey.
No, but just revisiting the comment that NTA is not grassroots. Has the grassroots party ever done anything to help the people at the bottom of the ladder?
Who's a grassroots party?
I'm trying to figure out which grassroots party have helped anybody.
But Judy, which party is a grassroots party? I don't think Trinidad no grassroots party.
None of them.
Yeah, the grassroots support them, but them ain't no grassroots party.
They're not for the grassroots, even if the grassroots support them.
Yeah, I don't support them. All right, so Rennie, Rose, Nadia, Takesha, Albert, Judy, Ulrich, Ken John, Carice, if he's still there, and Rennie Mohammed. Put closing comments in the chat. Yeah. But I gotta say, before we go, you know, you have to listen to people from all sides of the political divide. You cannot close out your mind to people from all different sides of the political divide. I think tonight was, I mean, it was a nice, cordial discussion and listening to what they have to say. You know? Yeah, because I think that we asked difficult questions and the people answer the questions. It's not like when you go to them other shows, give them some softball questions. You know? Let's go for a quick station identification. It's in the village with the DAT Triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. Stick and stay. We'll be right back after the show.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's in the village with the dad triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. That's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. So, Tommy and Diana, I think that you know who I was trying to get
You are
in?
listening to WZYE LP.
I was trying to get a person in here. Let me quickly see if I could get this up here. Did I save that? Yeah, I think I saved that. Let me try this. Hold on now. Oh, you know what? All right, I will do that on Thursday. So, let me do this. Hold on now. I was trying to get this person in here. I was trying to get this person. This is a person at UE, because Trinidad now is talking about sports tourism as a vehicle for development of team sports, right? And under the PNM and the UNC, I the one that brought a program to them for Sports Development Academy for sports tourism. And look, in 2022, them now talking about sports tourism as a vehicle for development of team sports in Trinidad and Tobago. And as a matter of fact, folks, I am going to be speaking at a conference in Tobago via Zoom on next week, Monday. Let me put that up real quick. And what I'm going to be talking about is Sports Development Academy that I created, and I showed you guys here before. Let me just quickly put this up here. Let me see this one here. Okay. This is it one here. Let me see. Okay, so here it is. So they're having a first biennial diaspora conference. It's being held in Tobago. Renewing diaspora commitment to Trinidad and Tobago is from the 29th to the 30th of August, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. itself at the Mount Irving Bay Resort, the Robert T. York Ballroom in Tobago. I'm going to be one of the guest speakers in that diaspora event, and I think I'm there. Who else is there? Well, let me see who else is there. Hold on. Let me see this quickly. Okay. So they have a few keynote speakers. They have myself. They have Lester Powder. They have about 6 keynote speakers. I'm one of the keynote speakers. So I'm actually looking forward to that, because I'm going to be presenting Sports Development Academy, of Trinidad and Tobago, that I presented both through the UNC and the PDP and the PNM.
PNM.
And the both of them was same end result, salt. Both of them. So, different party, same end result.
Lemon.
The PDP wants to hear it.
Well, I don't know. I don't think these people are affiliated with the PDP, though. This is just a gentleman from Tobago, a doctor from Tobago. He's putting on this diaspora. He wants to hear people from the diaspora. It's a lot of people from the diaspora, going to be talking. And I actually run Sports Development Academy with him. I shared the PowerPoint with him. And he said, man, this is very interesting. We need to do something like this in Tobago. And then, he has this thing. So I'm going to speak on that next Monday. So I'm looking forward to that. And anytime you deal with sports, I love to talk a lot. Right. And we're going to be talking about the program too on Thursday. So I'm going to put that on my Facebook page as well. And I think it's going to be an excellent event. They have a lot of things going on, though. So we're going to be sharing some of that stuff here with you in the village in the DAT triplets on WZYE 95.9 FM. So I think we had a good one tonight, you know what I mean? And these two, Lorraine Pouchet and Nikolai Edwards, you know, I mean, they represented their party well. You
Yep,
know,
sure did.
they really did. They did. They represented their party well, you know, and we will do. That's all they could ask for, you know. For when they go out and they represent well. Uh, oh
Yeah.
God, Lana said, and some PDP won't give you salt. Oh God. Lana, I get salt from UNC, salt from PNM, salt from PDP too. Again, again, plenty different type of political salt, boy.
Hmm.
But but somebody's telling me that the PDP having another rally again at the Brooklyn Museum this coming Sunday. I guess it's not as I guess you know. So I mean, I guess we can wait and see. You know. Closing comments there, no?
That Sunday coming, Anselm?
Yeah, you want to go to me? I could drive.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's stay in touch and we'll make a trip.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. I could drive.
Okay, just want to say again about the oppressor being as strong as they are because they have accomplices amongst the oppressed calling themselves political analysts. This is Diana Benskin, your global ambassador and your poet, bidding you auf Wiedersehen. Till we meet again, beloved people. I will be a surprise. I have a surprise for you guys, so I'll let you know when it's happening. Right, Ansel?
Yeah. Correct as well.
Let them let them know when it's happening. Okay, good night, people. Stay safe.
Yeah. And although don't get vexed with Diana because she have her hand. So don't get vexed with you.
Why do what I do now? What did I do, people?
I said you show your hand. Don't get vexed
Because I said I like the safety nets you know, as a woman you experience as him as police commissioner. That's one reason I would vote. I want to hear other reasons to vote for other people.
Why you already defend yourself? I just said you showed your hand.
I'm not defending myself. I'm reiterating.
Why you getting defensive?
I'm reiterating. Tommy, help me. You know what was wrong with your friend?
I don't know why. I just said you showed your hand. You know, before you never showed your hand. You never said you supported anybody.
Albert, he's interfering with me again.
Oh.
Let me call out the real mafia for you, you know.
Oh, goodness.
Albert, does he know so Kostra? Oh God! Let me say, it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. From where I said, this is it. The clock on the wall. So that's all I like to say. But I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent. When talent does not work hard, and for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Go ahead, Tommy.
Following up to what we dealt with tonight, my quote is from Thomas Sowell. It says, when you want to help people, you tell them the truth. When you want to help yourself, you tell people what they want to hear. A pleasant good night to each and every one. And I appreciate being here in the village as normal, or should I say as usual. Be safe. Love you all. Till the next time.
Thank you, Tommy. So, guys, let me just read this quickly for you guys, right? I will just get a tweet. It says, PM Rowley, in the upcoming budget, I'm going to instruct the Ministry of Finance to make a separate and special payment to every member who works in the Ministry of Health. No, Diana, that is trinkets.
What we said?
Listen to this. PM Rowley, in the upcoming budget, I'm going to instruct the Ministry of Finance to make a separate and special payment to every member who works in the Ministry of Health. That is anyway. You know what? Who work hard. So they deserve it. They deserve it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what precedent that's setting though, but
and the people who waiting on the retroactive
so wait, the police and them didn't work hard?
The retroactive workers don't deserve nothing.
The nurses didn't work well. Nurses in the health. The police didn't work hard.
Right now, wait. Yeah, but they wrote how much $1 million in fines? How much million for not wearing a mask?
Timing is everything.
Yeah, timing is everything, and
yeah.
I guess
No,
you think it's
Diana,
right time.
that's a trinket. That is a trinket. Yeah.
What song you going out with? Oh, yeah. Closing comment. Oh.
Tommy, Nadia says, bless Tommy. Tommy, blessed night. Great voice. God.
Thank you,
Nadia
Nads.
Nadia
I know you are the official village sweetheart. At least you and
Nadia, that's a trinket. Nadia says, blessed night to everyone in the village. Another wonderful program tonight. Great show, Anselm, Tommy, Diana Benskin. Keep it up till we meet again. Rose said, tonight's program was definitely a stress reliever. The two political analysts or make believe was the only two who was not entertaining. But I enjoyed it all. Thanks and good night. Be safe, everyone. Judy, message to Diana, please, can you get a doctor on the show to speak on postpartum depression after giving birth? Sure, Judy, we can work on that for you. Oryx said the worst thing is to hear the sound of a cockroach being crushed. Don't be that cockroach. Stay far away. I'll be the ones to crush you.
Oryx.
Good night, everyone.
Oryx, keep your anger to yourself.
Albert, comment, great night. As this was very open program, we always get the answers and the best guest till next time. Good night. Good night, Albert, down in Mississippi.
Mississippi, Canada. Ken John, everyone, good night. Have a blessed, safe night. God be with you till we meet again. Shalom. Thank you.
Yes,
what song we going on with tonight now?
Good night, Judy. Good night, Nadia.
We want help, Stalin. Huh?
Yeah, help. You want that one?
Yeah, Stalin, help. We need help.
Well, we played go Stalin help. Because we played that fella help.
Pressure. St. Anne's feeling it through my cock, balling out.
Held by Stalin. You sure it's Stalin or not, Duke?
It's Stalin sing help.
Stalin, okay.
I bet you them glasses on your face, Stalin.
Somebody gonna run something.
Through my cock, feeling it.
Oh, okay. Everybody
Matlock balling out, Toko yelling, Tunapuna balling.
So, folks, it's always a pleasure when you join us here in the village. Tell a friend to tell a friend. If you think there are friends who you think, will like what we do here.
Wait. Takesha put in she closing comment. And we ain't doing 1 minute, Takesha. Let me find it. Yeah, we can't leave out Keish. There we go. Comment,
that's the village sweet.
You's a real mama guy playboy. Everybody's a sweetheart.
But they are village sweethearts.
Keep it. It's always a pleasure being in the village. Keep up the great work, Diana, Tommy, and Ansem. Safe. Everyone, good night in the chat. One love, all kind of hearts. Thank you, Takesha.
Thank you, Takesha. Thank you.
I told you she was a village sweetheart. You didn't believe me. So is Nadia. Yeah. And then I think we have a new one, Judy Desan.
Yeah. Judy running fast, but she make it good.
feeling the pain, we can't take the pressure. Pain, we crying. Somebody got to do something. Right now we really need a Messiah to take we out of this big disaster. For everything at all, look, we try is all in vain. Rich or poor, black or white, we feel it is pain. St. Gill, Belmont, Citrus, and Scarborough. Somebody gotta do something. Somebody gotta fix something. Somebody do something. Somebody gotta run something. Calm down. Only losses today and no gain. Hell, fire. Somebody got to ease up the pressure. Like nobody seems to care about the poor. All them rich people close up the door. And who have the head to carry me through and through. Only care about themselves and not for me and you know. Then dance. Belmont, Labyrinth, Arima. Somebody gotta run something. Somebody gotta fix something.